A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all-old-time radio.
Kroger Tender Ray Beef, no other beef so fresh can be so tender, presents Hearts in Harmony, transcribed. K is for Kroger, C is for cut, B is for beef. KCB means Kroger cut beef, and Kroger cut beef means more meat for your money. Yes, Kroger cut beef gives you more meat, less waste. And the reason is this. Before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. Mind you, that's before the meat is weighed and priced, which means more meat for your money. And it's top U.S. government grades of beef. It's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. Yes, in Kroger cut beef, you get a better value in top-grade beef. For example, take a specific cut of beef, say a Kroger cut chuck roast. Before the roast is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess waste and stringy meat. That means you get a better value because you get more solid meat, only a minimum of bone. Yes, you receive more meat, less waste, whether you buy a steak or a roast. So visit your neighborhood Kroger store soon. Make it a rule to get Kroger cut beef. It gives you more meat for your money. And now, Hearts in Harmony. When Penny Gibbs started her new job with lawyer Frank Carter the day before yesterday, he told her that his first case was much more interesting than lucrative. Today, Penny is typing a report when Frank opens the door into the inner office and says,
Miss Gibbs.
Yes, Mr. Carter.
Could you come into my office a minute, please?
Yeah, just a minute.
Never mind the shorthand book and pencil, Miss Gibbs. I'm not dictating today.
Oh, all right.
Now, this is something a little more interesting, I think. It's that will case I was telling you about the other day.
Oh, the one that doesn't mean any money.
Well, money isn't everything. Except when I have to pay a bill. Now, sit down, Laura.
Oh, thank you.
Have you thought much about the case, Miss Gibbs?
Yeah. If Mrs. Ainsley is entitled to the money her husband had when he died, I'd like to see her get it.
Well, I'm convinced she had the money coming to her, or I wouldn't have taken the case. I wouldn't be working on it as hard as I am.
Have you found anything important yet? Anything helpful?
Very helpful, I think. And interesting, I'm sure.
About the company Mr. Ainsley left his money to?
Uh-huh. But more important than that, I've learned that Ainsley was attended by a nurse at the time of his death. In fact, for the last 3 months of his life.
Well, I didn't know that he had a nurse.
Well, this woman was nursing him, shall we say, unofficially, Miss Gibbs. She was doing the poor old dying man a favor. Do you see what I'm getting at?
No, frankly, I don't.
This nurse was Mrs. Mabel Peterson. That mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Well, Mrs. Mabel Peterson, I found out, used to be a registered nurse in a large city out west. But her license was revoked when a patient of hers died under strange and mysterious circumstances.
Mr. Carter, you don't mean that Mr. Ainsley was murdered, do you?
No, he wasn't, or that would have come out in the investigation of the will. In fact, the doctor's report showed that Ainsley died quite naturally of the disease he'd been suffering for years, and that death was not induced by any artificial or forceful means.
Well, then what's the importance of Mabel Peterson? Wait a minute, I do know a Mabel Peterson.
Oh, a woman about 45 or 50?
Yeah, about that age. I hadn't seen her in a couple of years, but she used to live not far from us.
Uh-huh. I thought you'd remember. Well, now maybe you'll see what I want to talk to you about.
No, Mr. Carter, as you said, Mrs. Peterson nursed Mr. Ainsley not for the money, but as a favor. Well, certainly she wouldn't turn around and do anything to hurt him.
Let me ask you something, Miss Gibbs. Did you know Mrs. Peterson was a former nurse?
No.
Did you know she'd had her license revoked because she allegedly let a patient die?
No, of course not.
Did anybody know that in Rossville, I mean?
Not that I know of.
And you know almost everyone in Rossville, don't you?
Yes, just about, but I don't...
Miss Gibbs, don't you see? Perhaps Mrs. Peterson did nurse the dying Mr. Ainsley as a favor to an old man. But perhaps she was forced into being a party to something that was not a favor to Mr. Ainsley.
Blackmail?
People with a past are subject to blackmail, Miss Gibbs. And certainly Mrs. Peterson had a past she wanted to hide. She's a respected, well-loved woman in this town, member of the Women's Club, the Civic League. She's not rich, but she's not starving. She's considered forthright and honest, and she's respected by her friends and neighbors.
But, what would they think, Gulliver, if they knew what you just found out about her?
See what I mean? Wouldn't someone like Mrs. Peterson do anything to keep her past a secret?
Oh, I think there'd be a limit to what anybody'd do.
You think so, but there isn't. I think this Mrs. Peterson is the key to something very interesting. And perhaps the open door to proof that old Mrs. Ainsley is right in thinking she was swindled out of the money her husband left when he died.
I'd like to see the poor woman get it, or what's left of it. But, Mr. Carter, let me ask you something.
Sure.
How did you connect Mrs. Peterson with this?
Well, a lawyer is an investigator sometimes, Miss Gibbs. Especially when he's so poor he can't hire a detective to do his snooping for him. I knew Mr. Ainsley was deathly ill for months. Mrs. Ainsley told me that. So I asked if he had a nurse or went to a hospital.
And you found out that he couldn't afford a nurse, but that someone in town offered to help him in his last weeks.
That's right. So I asked myself a question. Why would anybody help a dying old man who supposedly didn't have a dime?
You mean that you think people help others for personal gain?
Oh, no. This is just a question I asked myself. And I wouldn't have been surprised if I've found out that Mrs. Peterson was just a kindly soul who liked to help her friends.
Well, Mrs. Peterson knew the Ainsleys.
No, that's just it. She didn't. That's why I began to check back into the past and find out all I could about our Mrs. Peterson. That's when I found out she had been a nurse, but was no longer one because of suspected malpractice. And that's when I began to put two and two together.
Yeah, but look, Mr. Ainsley's money was left to the Laravel Research Company, not to Mrs. Peterson.
Sure, it was. But the Laravel Company went out of business 6 months after it received Mr. Ainsley's $10,000. A little investigation uncovered that, too.
You mean there was really no such company?
There was, for the purpose of acquiring money in the manner in which it was taken from poor Mr. Ainsley and his rightful heir, his wife. Then it ceased to exist and cropped up again under another name.
I've heard about such things, but the will was thoroughly investigated by the courts at the time of Mr. Ainsley's death. Everything was in order.
Yes, to all appearances it was. But if poor Mrs. Ainsley had had the money and the voice to take the case to court 6 months later, I think the court would have found far different evidence. Miss Gibbs, I think I can get the truth out of Mrs. Peterson if I confront her with what I know about her.
Yeah, I suppose you could.
You suppose so? I know so.
No, wait a minute. Look, I don't want to be forward or interfere in this, but what would you think about my going to Mrs. Peterson first?
You?
Well, you know why I suggested, don't you?
Sure, she'd be far less suspicious of you, somebody she knows, than of me. I'd be a total stranger to her and probably have to admit I'm a lawyer.
Let me go see her, will you?
Do you want to? I mean, do you think you should under the circumstances?
Well,
knowing the circumstances?
Frankly, I think you're wrong about Mrs. Peterson. I think she tended to Mr. Ainsley in his last illness as an act of charity or friendship. Oh, she might have known him slightly.
She didn't know him at all. I checked that.
I see.
Miss Gibbs, I heartily agree it would be a master stroke if you went to see Mrs. Peterson for me, but I want to warn you. If she suspects what you're after, it can lead to danger. Personal danger for you.
Don't you worry about that, Mr. Carter. I'm sure Mrs. Peterson is just a kindly woman who means no harm to anybody. But if there is trouble, I'll let you know what hospital.
Oh, hi, Penny.
Oh, hello, Johnny.
Where are you going in such a hurry?
Well, I'm a working girl now.
Well, I'm a working boy, but I'm not rushing my legs off.
And what are you doing standing in front of a drugstore? Aren't your drugstore Johnny days over by many years?
Well, every now and then I come down here and stand and sneak puffs on a cigarette, whistle at the girls, and pretend I'm a college boy.
Oh, you idiot.
Well, you walk by and I'll whistle at you just to prove it.
Now, you think I still don't like to be whistled at?
I think you like it more than ever now.
No, you don't know how right you are.
Well, seriously, Penny, I'm waiting for Doc Withers. Going to design a new front for his drugstore here. And he's busy now, so I thought I'd come out and enjoy the summer air. Where are you going in such a hurry?
I told you I'm working.
Yeah, I know. You have 2 jobs, one with Dr. Judson and one with that young lawyer. Now, which one has you stepping?
Well, right now I'm going to pay a little visit to a certain person in regard to the Ainsley case.
Oh, now, Penny, I thought Jed and I talked you out of bothering with that thing. It's no case. Everybody knows old Ainsley left his money to that company, and it was a perfectly legitimate will. The old man was in his right mind to the very end.
I don't doubt that. But Mr. Carter has a few ideas that ought to be looked into.
Well, then let him look into them. Make a fool out of himself. You stay out of it, Penny.
I happen to think Mr. Carter has a few very good ideas and lots of new information. And I happen to like the idea that I might be able to help a poor old woman who needs money.
Penny, if you weren't made the laughing stock of Rossville over this, you're going to wind up in trouble. One or the other, depending upon whether or not Mr. Carter knows what he's talking about.
He knows what he's talking about, and I know what I'm doing. And what I'm doing right now is going to see a certain person who may make me more certain than ever that old Mrs. Ainsley has money.
Yes?
Hello, Mrs. Peterson. Do you remember me, or isn't that a very fair question?
Remember you? What? Why, yes, you're Penny Gibbs. Oh, come in, Penny. Do come in.
Thank you.
Oh, my, but this is a surprise. It's years since I've seen you.
No, it's only about 2 years.
Oh, I'm sure it's been more than that.
Is it really?
Yes, I haven't seen you since I moved out of your neighborhood, and that's been almost 4.
Golly, time flies, doesn't it?
Much too fast. How's your family?
Fine, thank you. My mother remarried, you know.
Oh, yes, I read about that in the paper. She married a fine man. I've always admired Jed Billings, though I never knew him personally.
Yes, he is a fine man, but he's ill now.
I heard something about that, too. Is it serious?
Well, he's in a wheelchair. The doctors say he'll never get out of it.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. How's the rest of the family?
Well, let me see now. Pat's married and has a child, a little girl.
Oh, nice.
But that's the only happy thing about the marriage.
Oh, what a shame. Pat's such a fine young man. But, Penny, I can't get over your coming to see me. Are you here for any particular reason?
No, I just found out the other day that you were living here, and I happened to be in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd drop in.
Oh, I'm awfully glad you did.
You'll have to come see us sometime, too, Mrs. Peterson.
I'd love to. And I will one of these days.
Well, I'll tell the family that you're coming. Oh, how's Mr. Peterson?
Oh, not at all well. He's been working much too hard. I had to make him rest and go out of town for a few weeks.
Well, rest and change of scenery is good for everyone, isn't it?
Oh, it's better than all the medicine money can buy.
Yeah, oh, by the way, Mrs. Peterson, didn't you nurse a man named Sam Ainsley several years ago?
Well, yes, I did, about 5 years ago. Why'd you ask?
No particular reason. We were just talking about the Ainsley case the other day, and someone said that you were with him for several months before he died.
The Ainsley case, Penny?
Yes, there was something about a will mix-up after his death, wasn't there?
Oh, I don't think there was a mix-up, Penny. Just what are you getting at, my dear?
Well, nothing. Nothing at all.
I don't see how you can be getting at anything, of course. Mr. Ainsley has been dead a long time, and I think the matter's forgotten, isn't it?
Yes, quite forgotten.
If you'll excuse me, Penny, there are some very important things I have to take care of right away.
Of course, Mrs. Peterson.
Do come again, though, Penny. But phone first, if you will.
Well, Mrs. Peterson certainly changed her tone of voice, didn't she? Do her strange actions mean that young Frank Carter is on the right track? That Penny Gibbs is skirting danger? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. KCB. KCB. KCB means Kroger Cut Beef, and Kroger Cut Beef means more meat for your money. That's right, Kroger Cut Beef gives you more meat, less waste. Because before the meat is weighed and priced, the Kroger method of cutting beef removes excess bone, excess waste, and stringy ends. For example, if porterhouse steak is your favorite, you'll find that at Kroger's you don't pay steak price for stringy ends and waste. The Kroger method of cutting beef removes the long, stringy end and excess waste before the steak is weighed and priced. But see for yourself by visiting your Kroger store. Notice that you get more meat, less waste, and it's top U.S. government grades of beef. Beef that's tender, juicy, rich red, and marbled with just the right amount of flavory fat. Remember, whether you buy a steak or a roast, Kroger Cut Beef gives you more meat for your money. Yes, everybody's happy when you go to your neighborhood Kroger store for Kroger Cut Beef. Your family loves the deliciousness, the juicy flavor of Kroger beef. You love the way it cooks up so perfectly. And your pocketbook loves the fact that Kroger Cut Beef gives you more meat for your money. Get some without delay. Make it a rule to get Kroger Cut Beef and get more meat, less waste at your neighborhood Kroger store. Be sure to listen Monday, same time, same station, for another absorbing transcribed chapter of Hearts in Harmony.
Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous dream girl hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. Like many of her colleagues in the teaching profession, our Miss Brooks, Madison High School's English teacher, watched the year 1948 come to an end with mixed emotions. As she puts it,
although the year didn't start off brilliantly or develop too sensationally, it certainly wound up in a blaze of nothing. Of course, I did enjoy my 2 weeks vacation. In fact, I spent most of the money I was going to borrow in the next 3 months. The afternoon of New Year's Eve, Friday, December 31st, for those that still can't remember, I was chatting with my landlady, Mrs. Davis.
Well, Connie, I guess you've got big plans for this evening.
Frankly, I haven't got any plans at all, Mrs. Davis. Of course, I do have a date with the bashful biologist.
Mr. Boynton, what are you going to do, Connie?
Probably the same thing we did last year. Pool our money and go to Hip Sings for dinner. Fine way to spend New Year's Eve. 2 Americans go to a Chinese restaurant, Dutch. What are you going to do, Mrs. Davis?
Oh, I'm going to visit my sister Angela. She's so absent-minded, poor thing. She'll probably be surprised to see me, although it was only last week that she invited me over.
What time do you think you'll be leaving, Mrs. Davis?
Leaving? For where?
For your sisters.
For my sister's what?
For your sister's house.
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me, Connie. I've been making up my New Year's resolutions, and that's the first thing on the list. I've resolved to correct Angela's absent-mindedness.
Angela's absent-mindedness. What else is on the list?
What list?
Maybe I'd better talk to Minerva the cat for a while. We were talking about New Year's resolutions, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention, Connie. Tell me the rest of your resolutions.
Well, first of all, I've resolved not to... What resolution? We were speaking of yours, Mrs. Davis. And before you say my what, I'd like to ask you again the question I asked when we were both younger. Namely, when are you going over to your sister's house?
Maybe you better not go out tonight, Connie. You sound very strange.
It's just the way you're listening. Or are you, Mrs. Davis?
Of course I'm Mrs. Davis. Now, you lie down and let me fix you some hot tea.
I don't want any hot tea. I just want an answer.
Meow.
Thanks, Minerva. Now, about this evening, Mrs. Davis...
Hello, Minerva. Want some milk, dear? I'll get you some in a minute. You were saying, Miss Brooks?
This evening? Your sister's house?
Yes, I'm going over there tonight.
I know, Mrs. Davis.
Right away, Minerva.
What time, Mrs. Davis?
It's, 4:15 now, but I'm always back. Get away from those curtains, Minerva. I'll set your saucer right away. Keep an eye on her, will you, Angela?
I'll be glad to, Connie. Come on, just hop into my lap, Mrs. Davis. Meow. There's a good dog. This is getting contagious. Oh, coming. Excuse me, Minerva. Why, it's Monsieur Monet. Come in.
Merci, mademoiselle. Thank you. It's nice you remember me.
Remember you? Why, Monsieur Monet, you're Madison High's favorite French teacher.
For that, Miss Brooks, permit me to kiss your hand.
Well, let's not give the other hand the complex.
Certainly not. I trust that I'm not arrived at, how you say, inopportunity time.
What? Oh, no, this is very opportunity time. Won't you sit down, Monsieur Monet?
Oh, thank you, Miss Brooks. But now that I'm teaching in America, I would appreciate it if you would call me in America.
All right. What's your number?
No. I mean, call me Mr. Monet instead of Monsieur.
Oh, certainly.
Here you are, Kitty. Here's a nice saucer of... Oh, I didn't know anyone had come in.
This is Mr. Monet, Mrs. Davis, our new French teacher at Madison.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Monet?
How do you do, Mrs. Davis? I kiss your hand, madame.
I'll hold your saucer, madame.
A lovely lady with a lovely hand.
Stick out your paw, Minerva. You're next.
If Mr. Monet came over to see you, Connie, I'm sure he doesn't want to talk to Minerva. I'll just take her into the kitchen. Come along, dear. There's a good kitty. Come drink your milk out here. So nice to have met you, Mr. Monet.
Likewise, I'm sure. She's very nice, your Mrs. Davis. But why she run away so fast? In the words of some of my pupils, why she took some powder and put it on the lamb.
Took some powder? Oh, you mean she took a powder or took it on the lamb?
Mais oui. She flew out of here like a bat out of...
Mr. Monet. You're learning faster than you're teaching. Now, Mrs. Davis was just being tactful. I guess she thought you wanted to be alone with me.
Alone with you? But why, Miss Brooks? I'm a married man.
Oh, I know, but Mrs. Davis doesn't know about your wife, Mr. Monet.
Oh, Miss Brooks, I don't know what plans you have made for New Year's Eve, but my wife, Elaine, and I would be very flattery if you would join us.
Well, thanks, Mr. Monet. I'm flattery that you should ask me. But as far as I know, Mr. Boynton is taking me out tonight.
Oh, then you both must come. You see, this is not an ordinary party, Miss Brooks, although we're all going to wear evening clothes and try to have the best possible time. Elaine and I, we realize that among school teachers, there are very few, how do you call it, malted millionaires?
Some of us are too thick to drink with a straw. What you're trying to tell me is that the evening won't cost much money, is that right?
Oh, it will cost you no money, Miss Brooks, but there is an admission charge.
Kind of blood?
No, just some old clothes. You see, I am in charge of a committee to send clothing to the poor people in France. Any sort of clothes would do, Miss Brooks. Anything that is made of cloth.
Why, that sounds like a wonderful idea, Mr. Monet. I'll be delighted to come.
And Mr. Boynton, do you speak for him as well?
Mr. Boynton has been spoken for many times. The trouble is he doesn't answer. Oh, you mean about tonight? Yes, Mr. Monet. I feel sure I can speak for Mr. Boynton.
Oh, fine. I'll be leaving then.
I'll walk you to the door, Mr. Monet.
Oh, my address is 9066 Shoreham Drive. Try to get there before 10. And I'm sure that as my students say, we will have a ball.
I'm sure that we will.
Yes, until tonight then, Miss Brooks. Stay in the groove.
Oh, Natch, Mr. Monet, Natch. And Mr. Monet.
Yes?
Don't take any wooden francs.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will return in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. Ladies, regardless of age, skin type, or previous beauty care, doctors prove you, too, may win a lovelier complexion with Palmolive soap.
But to win this lovelier complexion, the kind men admire and women envy, you must stop improper cleansing. Instead, use Palmolive soap the way doctors advise.
Remember, 36 doctors, leading skin specialists, advise 1,285 women, many with complexion problems, to use Palmolive this way. Some have dry skin, some oily, some coarse-looking. Using Palmolive soap alone, 2 out of 3 won lovelier complexions. Now, here's what the doctors advised.
Wash your face with Palmolive soap. Massaging for 1 minute with Palmolive's soft lather. This cleansing massage brings your skin Palmolive's full beautifying effect. Rinse. Do this 3 times a day for 14 days.
It's that simple. But doctors have proved this way, using nothing but Palmolive, really works. So forget other beauty care. Use Palmolive soap alone for a lovelier complexion.
For loveliness all over, use big, thrifty bath-size Palmolive in your tub or shower.
After Mr. Monet left, I tried to get Mr. Boynton on the phone to tell him about the invitation. But ours is a party line, a 4-party line to be exact, and every time I picked up the receiver, it was in use. always careful not to lose my temper, I sat by the phone and drummed lightly on the top of the table until my 5 fingernails were impaled in the mahogany. Then I tried it once more.
As sure as my name is Lucy Schofield, that's the only way to treat men, Emma. Believe me, if I had to do it all over again, Emma, excuse me a minute, dear. I think I smell my roast burning in the kitchen.
Now, that's a coincidence, Lucy. I smell my grapes burning in the living room. Hang up now. I'll call you back. So much for Emma and Lucy. I'll try it again. Oh, it worked. At least I can dial now. I hope Lucy doesn't think Emma was kidding her.
Happy New Year, Daisy. Is Fred there?
This isn't Daisy, and Fred isn't here. Will you please get off the line?
What do you mean get off the line?
Just what I said. Get off this line.
Oh, Mrs. Telephone Company, huh?
Look, this happens to be a party line, and I happen to be the party using it at the moment.
Oh, well, that's different. If you want me to come to a party, I'll be glad to talk to you. My name is Frank Pollock. What's yours?
It doesn't matter. I only... Say, Frank. Frank, are you still there?
I'm still there. That was mighty nice of you to call me, Daisy. What I think of the way I treated you. The shameful, horrible way I treated you.
Don't cry, Frank. I had it coming.
No.
Now, will you please hang up? Your bottle is falling out of the chandelier.
Well, thanks, Daisy. You're a great girl. And tell Fred to give me a buzz when he gets in. Bye now.
He's getting an early start. When a body meets a body, he's had too much rye.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Boynton. This is Miss Brooks. I assume we still have a date for tonight.
Tonight? Oh, this is Friday, isn't it?
Yes, December 31st.
31st, eh?
Yes, you know, the day we celebrate the appearance of the first enchilada north of Laredo, Texas.
I know it's New Year's Eve, Miss Brooks. What are we going to do to kill a few hours together?
We'll think of something, you mad, impetuous boy. As a matter of fact, that's why I called. Mr. Monet and his wife are having a little impromptu party at their house, and they've invited us.
What kind of party?
Well, you have to have some old clothes, and then you should...
Hello? Is that you, Emma? I didn't quite understand you before.
No, this is not Emma. This is your friendly, cooperative party line neighbor.
Oh, the magpie.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Nonstop Nellie, the human dial tone.
Now,
will you please stop this filibuster and get off the line?
Well, the phone company will hear about this.
Are you there, Miss Brooks?
Yes, Mr. Boynton. As I started to tell you, although it's a formal party, we're supposed to have some piece of apparel that we can...
Happy New Year.
Oh, yes.
Who's that? Well, it's about time you got home, Fred.
That is not Fred.
Oh, it isn't, huh?
No, it isn't.
As Fred's oldest and closest friend, I demand to know who it is. Now, see here, old man. I'm not your old man. I don't even know where your old man is. I don't even know where my old man is. New Year's Eve, and I don't even know where my old man is.
We'd better hang up now.
You can't, Daisy. You can't hang up. Not without you telling me where my old man is. Daisy.
Listen, Mr.
Nobody
Boynton.
wants to tell me where
All
my
you
old
have to
man
do
is.
is bring
People
some old clothes with you.
What's that? I don't hardly hear you.
Bring some old clothes and pick me up in a couple of hours.
I gave you a pretty hot deal. This friend's come along and straighten you out. I'll see you later. Who introduced you to Fred? Tell me that. Who introduced you to Fred?
You did, Frank, and I love you for it. If you don't get off this phone, I'll have you thrown out of the bar you're calling from.
Bar? Oh, is that where I'm calling from? Bless you, Daisy. You helped me find my old man. Sure, he's sitting on the stool next to me.
I better hang up now. Fred hates it when I talk to strangers. Oh, Mrs. Davis.
Yes, Connie?
I wonder if you'd give me a hand. I've been invited to a formal party tonight, and I just don't know what to wear.
Well, what have you got, Connie?
Oh, nothing. That is nothing but an old evening gown I've had for 5 years.
Well, come on into your room, Connie, and we'll look it over.
Here we are. It won't take long to find in my closet. Well, let's see. Here's a skirt and blouse. The suit I got 2 years ago. Here's one of the dresses I wear to school. Here's the other one. Oh, there we are. My pride and joy.
Why, that's real pretty, Connie. And look at the fringe.
Silly moths, they left the best part. While I'm in here, I'd better find something to donate as well.
Donate?
Yes, the price of admission to the party is some old clothing. I know I've got some because I've been wearing it.
Oh, dear, I forgot to tell you, Connie, but just last week when the Goodwill truck came around, they pick up old clothes, too, you know. I gave away everything of mine I could possibly spare.
Well, that's all right, Mrs. Davis. You're not going to the party.
I know, but I also gave away a big bundle of your stuff. You had it lying in the closet, and
Mrs. Davis, that was for the cleaners. I had some of my newest clothes in that bundle. 1945 stuff.
I'm sorry, dear. Maybe you can borrow some old clothes to give.
Well, I guess I'll have to. I know. I'll go over to the Conklins. He's got one suit I know could use an ocean voyage.
It's Miss Brooks. Come on in.
Thanks, Harriet. Are your folks at home?
Mother's out shopping, but Daddy's upstairs taking a nap. Come on into the living room, won't you? Walter Denton and I were just playing Pass It. Look who's here, Walter.
Well, if it isn't my favorite English teacher. Sit down, Miss Brooks. Harriet and I were just playing Pass It.
So she told me. What's Pass It?
Well, it's a game we read about. Lots of high school kids play it. All you do is take a piece of Kleenex and hold it to your nose by sniffing. And then with both hands behind your back, you pass it down a long line of kids by sniffing it away from your neighbor.
Oh. Sounds fascinating. But where's the long line of kids?
Oh, it's just as much fun with the two of us.
More.
Yeah, saves wear and tear on the Kleenex, too.
Harriet and I go steady. That's why I'm here. But what brings you to the dread sanctum sanctorum of your school principal during a holiday?
Please, Walter. You make Daddy sound like an ogre.
Yes, Walter. Just because Mr. Conklin is my superior at school is no reason for me to live in dread of him.
Harriet!
What is it, Daddy?
Try to be a little more quiet, can't you? I've got to get some sleep.
Sorry, Daddy. We'll be more careful. I don't think now is a good time to tell him you're here, Miss Brooks. You see, he's going to a big party tonight and wants to get some rest.
Well, then maybe you kids can help me out. I've just got to get some old clothes somewhere right away.
Why, Miss Brooks? The ones you've got on look fine.
Thanks, Walter, I think. But I'm talking about clothes I can donate.
Golly, Miss Brooks, Mother just gave away every stitch we could possibly spare to the Salvation Army. Wait a minute. Daddy's new tuxedo is being delivered today. And he's got an old suit of evening clothes that I'm sure Mother would love to see given away.
Say no more, Harriet. Do you think you can get it without waking your father?
Oh, sure. It's right here in the hall closet. Here it is, Miss Brooks. This is the suit Daddy wore when he first became a principal.
Let me look at that. I'll bet he was a sensation in these tales.
What?
There are 3 of them.
Let's see. Oh, that's just where one of them is torn. You could patch that up in a jiffy.
Thanks very much, Harriet. It's cloth anyway. Well, I'll be getting along home now. Mr. Boynton's picking me up soon, and I've got to see if my evening gown still fits me. I've had it for over 5 years.
I think that's nice, Miss Brooks.
What's nice, Walter?
How you and your evening gown have grown old together. Well, not that you're falling apart at the seams or anything. I mean, well, to me, you're still all wool and a yard wide.
You have just failed in English for 1949. Would you care to try for 50?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Conklin?
Yes, who's this?
This is Kane from Kane's Classy Cut Clothes with 4 Ks.
Oh, yes. Where's my tuxedo, Kane? You promised it to me by 5 o'clock, and it's 10 of now.
Oh, that's what I'm calling about, Mr. Conklin. I can't get the suit to you by 5 o'clock.
You can't? Well, then when will it get here?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday? But I've got a very important party to attend tonight.
Now, please, Mr. Conklin, don't yell at me. Yell at the Hotel Makers Union. They went out on strike yesterday.
But isn't there something you can do? Somebody who can fix this?
Calm yourself, Mr. Conklin. Even if I gave the suit to another shop to be finished, it wouldn't do any good. The buttonhole boys went out in sympathy.
But how could you... Why do you... When did this...
How were you able... Mr. Conklin, take it easy. My blood pressure is just as high as yours. So let's be good to ourselves and exercise some control.
Control? But how can I... What will I... Even if I have...
Now, there's no use for both of us aggravating. Goodbye, Mr. Conklin. Happy New Year.
Harriet!
Yes, Daddy, we're here in the living room.
Harriet, I've had a great disappointment. My tuxedo... Hello, Denton.
Conklin, we're playing Pass It. Want to sniff this Kleenex off my nose onto your nose?
I can think of nothing more loathsome to do. Harriet, do you know where your mother put my old suit of evening clothes?
Your old suit, Daddy?
Yes. I've got to wear it tonight.
Oh, but that old evening suit isn't any good, Mr. Conklin. It would make you look like a head waiter in a cabaret.
A head waiter in a... That happens to be one of the finest dress
Please,
suits.
Daddy. I gave it to Miss Brooks just a little while ago. She and Mr. Boynton are going to a party where you have to bring some old clothes to get in.
What? That does it! Not only do my teachers openly flaunt my wishes about fraternizing, but they take my evening clothes along with them. Children, do you know what I'm going to do?
No, we don't. But I know one thing. If I was Miss Brooks, I'd hop in bed and pull the covers up over my head.
There, how does Old Faithful look on me, Mrs. Davis?
Lovely, Connie. And fringe is more popular than ever. It's amazing what a tuck here and a stitch there will do. About what time did Mr. Boynton say he'd be over?
About this time, Mrs. Davis. I'll get it. Good evening, Mr. Boynton. Won't you come in?
Oh, thanks, Miss Brooks.
Say, that's an interesting overcoat you have on. Raccoon, isn't it?
Yes. It's a relic of my college days. Do you mind if I hang it up here? It's pretty warm.
Go right ahead, Mr. Boynton. Then come on into the living room.
All right. Oh, there. That's better. Well, Miss Brooks, you certainly look lovely tonight.
Thanks, Mr. Boynton. You look... Mr. Boynton, I told you we were invited to a New Year's Eve party, didn't I?
Well, yes, you did.
Do you always go to a formal party in white flannels with a blazer and a beanie?
Formal? But you said you had to have some old clothes to get in. Some odd piece of wearing apparel is what you told me.
Oh, great. I hope your sneakers are vulcanized.
I don't understand, Miss Brooks. Just what kind of a party is this?
It's a formal party, Mr. Boynton, but the price of admission is some old clothes to be shipped abroad.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't usually go to parties on New Year's Eve.
You don't? Well, how do you like to spend the evening, Mr. Boynton?
Well, I usually have an early dinner, then catch the first show at the movies and hit the sack about 10:30.
What does your doctor say about such carrying on? Look, Mr. Boynton, I've already accepted for both of us, and... Wait a minute. I've got a dress suit that might fit you. Then we can bring the stuff you've got on as our admission. Just go into my room, Mr. Boynton, and take off those clothes.
Oh, Miss Brooks, what in the
You'll
world...
find a suit of evening clothes right on the bed. Please slip them on. Mrs. Davis?
Yes, Connie?
Have you finished sewing Mr. Conklin's tail together?
Just finishing now, Connie. Here it is, as good as new. It would make any head waiter proud. Oh, hello, Mr. Boynton. My, what a nice beanie. 3 propellers.
I wish you'd tell me what this is all about, Mrs. Davis.
Well, you're going to an ideal source for information. Just take this suit and put it on, Mr. Boynton, please.
Well, all right, Miss Brooks, but this is all highly irregular.
Now, Mrs. Davis, let's go into your room. I want you to fix my hair in the back. I'm wearing it up, you know, and it's not quite high enough.
My goodness, Connie, how high do you want it?
High enough so that I'll have to stand on a chair to pull it down.
Well, it doesn't fit too badly, I guess. Miss Brooks, I've got the suit on.
That's fine. I'll just be a few minutes. Oh, would you answer that, please, Mr. Boynton? Mrs. Davis is still rummaging in my scalp.
All right. Oh, well, it's Mr. Conklin. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'd like a table down front, but not too near the drum. Oh, it's you, Boynton.
Yes, sir. Won't you come in?
No, I won't come in. Boynton, how did you... When did... Who gave you... What are you doing?
New Year's Eve, I'd swear that Mr. Conklin has come by. Oh, it is you, Mr. Conklin.
Miss Brooks, I demand the return of my evening clothes at once.
Your evening clothes?
I cannot tell a lie, Mr. Boynton. Take it off.
Take it off?
Take it off.
Well, don't just stand there, Mr. Conklin. Applaud a little.
Get ready, everyone. It's 12 o'clock. Turn up the radio. Well, Miss Brooks, nice party, no?
Oh, very nice, Mr. Monet.
Ah, but it's midnight now. The band is playing Auld Lang Syne, and everyone should be kissing someone. Where's your Mr. Boynton?
Oh, haven't you heard, Mr. Monet? He hit the sack at 10:30.
Eve Arden as our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment. But first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight, show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Only Luster Cream brings you Kay Daumit's magic formula blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Gives loveliness lather even in hardest water. Glamorizes your hair as you wash it. Luster Cream, not a soap, not a liquid, but a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Gives new beauty to all hairdos or permanents. 4-ounce jar, $1. Smaller sizes, either tubes or jars. Tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo and be a
dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, Mr. Boynton didn't show me such an exciting New Year's Eve, but we had another date the next day, today. After spending the afternoon at the zoo, we came back to my house. Do you mind if I turn on the radio, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, not at all, Miss Brooks, but I'm afraid I can't stay to listen to it.
Why not?
Well, actually, I didn't get into bed on New Year's Eve until 10 minutes of 11. I've got to catch up on my sleep.
And so, as Philip Boynton faded slowly into the west, I bade him farewell in true Zulu fashion by saying Tunga Lunga Bimba Lakta, which means, how can you leave now? Jack Benny has switched over to CBS.
Next week, tune in to another Our Miss Brooks show, brought to you by Palmolive Soap, your beauty hope, and Luster Cream shampoo for soft, glamorous dream girl hair.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written and directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch.
Men, do you shave with a lather or brushless shave cream? Palmolive shaving cream comes both ways, and whichever way you prefer to shave, you'll find that using either Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream can bring you more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Here's the proof. 2,548 men tried the new Palmolive way to shave described on the tube. And no matter how they had shaved before, 3 out of every 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Get Palmolive brushless or Palmolive lather shaving cream today.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, the exciting, fun-packed adventures of an amateur detective and his beautiful wife. Tune in Tuesday evenings over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at this same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Stay tuned now for Lum and Abner. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
EAS, New York. 8:30 p.m. BULOVA, Bulova Watch Time. Bulova, masterpiece of fine watchmaking.
A pack of Avalon cigarettes, please.
Yes, sir. Just a moment, sir. Don't forget your change. You'd never guess that Avalon's cost you less.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Good evening, friends. Good evening. This is Del King saying welcome to Avalon Time, featuring radio's red-headed ragamuffin, Richard Red Skelton, with Dick Todd, Edna Stillwell, the Poor Puffs, Bud Hercules Vandover, the Avalon Chorus, and Bob Strong and his orchestra. Comes now, comes the orchestra, comes love. Avalons are entirely different from any other cigarette on the market today because they give you both outstanding quality and exceptional money-saving economy. Avalons are union-made from the very finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos. In fact, you couldn't get finer quality tobaccos in any other cigarette, regardless of price, regardless of brand. And you get this unsurpassed quality in Avalons for 3 to 5 cents less. Yes, 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands. Avalons are the outstanding cigarette value on the market. Try a pack tonight. That muffled noise, ladies and gentlemen, is from the closet. There's usually a skeleton in the closet that's a family secret, but we have a skeleton in our closet that's a public nuisance. So here he is now, that ham bone of contention, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much. Greetings, people and everybody, and happy birthday, Thackeray.
Thackeray? Who's Thackeray?
My new writer, Del.
But you're supposed to start the show off by saying something funny.
Well, that's what I told Thackeray.
Well, what do? Take orders from your writer?
Who, me? Take orders from Thackeray? Him tell me what to do? I should say not.
Louder, Skelton.
Who was that, Red?
That was Thackeray. That was Thackeray.
Hey, he's a tough-looking mug. How come you hired him?
Well, I had to. He applied for the job by sending me threatening scripts. I should have found out more about him.
Well, has he ever written for radio?
Oh, sure. He wrote all the no-talking signs at Radio City. Look, here's one of the jokes he wrote for me. A dark-complected lady was standing by a green gate, and a little boy in a red hat, brown shirt, blue pants, rides by on a bicycle. And the dark-complected lady says, My, you sure can ride that bicycle. That laugh, one laugh, ladies and gentlemen, was furnished by Thackeray. See, anybody laughs at his own jokes ought to have his head examined. by a headhunter. Hey, it ain't bad, huh? I mean,
Hello, Dad.
Oh, hello, Ed. Hey, where have you been?
I've been out walking with Dick Todd. And does he attract attention from the girls?
Well, so what? I attract the attention of girls when I walk up the street myself.
Yeah, but he does it without whistling.
Yeah. Say, where'd you go with Dick?
We went over to the hospital to see his sister.
The hospital? Say, maybe you shouldn't have come over here among all these people. Maybe she's got something that's contagious.
I don't think so. She has twins.
Yeah. Say, that's what our slice of life is about tonight, an expectant father. Say, as soon as Dick Todd gets here, we'll do it. Say, where is Todd, anyhow? If he don't show up, I'll sing the song myself, after a fashion.
That fashion went out after your ancestors came out of the trees and learned to talk.
Yeah. So you're here, are you? Well, if I want to sing a song, I'll sing it. I'm getting sick of getting pushed around here.
Well, it looks like we're going to have an exhibition of a little spunk tonight. Spunk? That ain't the way I wrote it.
Yeah. Sing, Dick.
I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I'm plenty of, baby. Dream a while, scheme a while, we're sure to find happiness. And I guess all those things you've always pined for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell. Baby, diamond bracelets Woolworth doesn't sell, baby. Till that lucky day. You know darn well, baby, I can't give you anything but love. I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I'm plenty of, baby. Dream a while, scheme a while, we're sure to find happiness. Then I guess all those things you've always pined for. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell. Baby, diamond bracelets Woolworth doesn't sell, baby. Till that lucky day, you know darn well, baby, I can't give you anything but love.
That was I Can't Give You Anything But Love, Baby, sung by Dick Todd, darn it. And now we come to our short playlet about things that really happen in everyday life. Things that you do and that I do, in fact, everybody does. And tonight's Slice of Life is about the troubles that young fathers have while waiting for a blessed event. You set the scene, Del.
Okay, the time just before midnight. The place, a hospital somewhere in your hometown. The nurse is played by Edna Stillwell. The expectant father is played by Red Skelton, who has never been so nervous before. In fact, he is really a nervous wreck ever since Winchell told him about it. Quiet! Hospital zone.
Dr. Jones wanted in surgery. Dr. Brown wanted in surgery. Dr. Smith wanted in surgery. Dr. Green wanted in surgery. Don't forget the cards, boys.
Gee, how can they play cards at a time like this?
They sleep in the daytime.
Yeah.
Now, listen, Mr. Skelton, I told you, you can't bring all that stuff in this hospital. Now, you just take that catcher's glove and that football outside.
But, gee,
Yeah, and that motorcycle, too.
Oh, gee, my kid's got to have something to play with when he gets here. He can't just sit around and twiddle his thumbs, you know. You think you like this baseball bat?
Supposing it's a girl.
Well, then I'll wait until she starts going to high school before I give her the bat. She'll need it then if she's good looking.
Now, just keep calm. You look nervous.
Oh, I'm not nervous. Gee, I wish I had my knee pads on. Has Junior arrived yet?
No, but when he does, whom shall I say called?
Mr. Skelton, here, I'll just leave my... Hey, how do I know he can read?
Listen, if you can, he can.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll wait anyhow. Is the doctor here?
No, he's out right now.
Oh, got a case, huh?
I'll play, and you should see her.
Say, this doctor, he's a good doctor, ain't he?
Good. You know the 5 quintuplets?
Yeah?
They're cute, aren't they?
Yeah. Say,
Have you ever been in this hospital before?
Yeah, I was born here.
My, you've put on weight, haven't you?
Yes. Gee, I'm so excited you get me mixed up, I don't even know what I'm doing. Gosh, gee whiz. Say, you think the baby will look like me?
What? He wouldn't dare.
Well, you know, I was the picture of my father. I had my father's eyes, his nose, his hair, and his teeth.
Where's your father now?
He's home looking for his face.
Good evening, nurse.
How are you, Doctor? Doctor, this is Mr. Skelton.
Skelton? Oh, yes. I suppose it was sent over by the museum.
Yeah. No, I'm Richard Skelton, the expectant father.
Oh, yes. You're the fellow who gave me the little pig bank full of pennies for a down payment.
Yeah. Gee, you know, that sounds funny. $30 down and $5 a month. Sounds like buying an automobile.
I am. How do you feel?
Well, not so good, Doc.
I know what you're going through.
Yeah, and I hope I never have to go through it again.
You know, son, at times I doubt if women realize what we fathers have to go through. I have 3 children, you know.
Oh, you poor thing.
Is this the first time for you to hear the sound of little footsteps around the house?
No, I've been hearing the sound of little footsteps for a year now. They're my wife's brother. He's a midget.
Nurse, I want to talk to you alone.
We're alone.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you, keep your eye on this Icky. He's getting the Jim Jam jumping jive with a slight dash of chop, chop, chop. So if he starts to swing out with the boogie woogie, call me before the joint starts jumping.
Okay, Hepcat, take it away.
He's a swell guy. Does he know a lot about medicine?
Does he? Why, he sat through every Dr. Kildare picture twice.
Gee, he must be good.
Here, drink this.
Oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't.
Now, come on and drink it.
No, I got one of those the other night. Oh.
Don't be silly. It's something to quiet your nerves.
My nerves are quiet. I buzz like this all the time.
Now, come on, like a good little man.
Oh, all right.
Do you want a chaser?
I don't think anything could catch that stuff.
By the way, do you know anything about having a child around the house?
Sure, I do. I've been reading The Care and Feeding of Babies and Blondie.
I'll bet you were a noisy little baby.
No, I wasn't either. I didn't utter a sound until I was a year old.
Really? How come?
Oh, I was bashful. I was ashamed to open my mouth. I didn't want my mother to know I didn't have any teeth. Gee, I'll bet Junior will be smarter than I was.
I'll take that bet.
Yeah. Is that my nerve?
That's the doctor. He wants me. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Now, here, you just sit down and figure out what you're going to tell Junior.
Okay.
After all, everything's going to be new to him.
Yeah.
And you might learn something, too.
Yeah. I never thought of that. Gee, ain't it wonderful? Me, your father. Well, my son won't go to that old reform school. He'll go to the new one, like I did. Well,
now, don't get excited.
Well, don't stand there, nurse. Tell me. Well, speak up, gee. After all, this ain't a movie, you know.
Oh, no? Well, it's a double feature.
Yeah. Double feature? Twins? Oh, gosh, I'm going to faint.
Why? You haven't even seen them yet.
Yeah. Gee. Twins? Gee, 2 of them, huh? Gosh. And I only knitted 1 sweater.
Here, son. Would you like to see the twins?
Yeah, wheel me over, Doc. Gee, they're awful little, ain't they? Gee, look at them. Ain't they ugly? Huh?
Yes, and they're all yours.
Yeah. Where'd they get that terrific sunburn? Gee, ain't they ugly? But I guess all boys are ugly like that when they're little, huh, Doc?
They're girls.
Yeah. Girls? Are you kidding? Oh, my goodness. Both of them girls. Oh.
What's the matter?
What's the matter? Look at them. 2 girls and they're both bald-headed.
And now our four pups work themselves up to the four winds and get ready to go fly a kite. It's from the Star Maker. Sing it, kids. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear what the ghost of 20 years ago said about Avalon cigarettes? Well, it said...
20 years ago, we didn't have Avalon cigarettes. We couldn't take advantage of that big saving. But today, I take Avalon's advice. Wherever I go, I don't forget my change.
Yes, friends, and when you buy Avalon cigarettes, don't forget your change. You see, Avalon's cost 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular priced brands. A repeated saving that will net you many, many extra dollars in mighty short order. But without knowing, you'd never guess Avalon's cost you less. They're highest quality through and through. So tonight, try Avalon cigarettes. Vic Sade and the Avalon Chorus sing out with the new Western ballad, South of the Border.
South of the border, down Mexico way. Down Mexico way. That's where I fell in love when stars above came out to play. And now as I wander, my thoughts ever stray south of the border, down Mexico way. Down Mexico way. She was a picture in old Spanish lace. In old Spanish lace. Just for a tender while I kissed a smile upon her face. For it was fiesta, and we were so gay. South of the border, down Mexico way. Down Mexico way. Then she sighed as she whispered, Manana, never dreaming that we were parting. And I lied as I whispered, Manana, for our tomorrow never came. South of the border, I rode back one day. There in a veil of white, by candlelight, she knelt to pray. The mission bells told me that I mustn't stay. South of the border, down Mexico way. Down Mexico way. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
That was South of the Border, sung by Dick Todd and ably assisted by the Avalon Chorus. That was a swell arrangement, too, Dick. A real Western style. Sounds like it was arranged by the Lone Arranger.
I don't think that was much of a joke, Red.
Well, personally, I don't either, but it's one of Thackeray's. But I think they'll get better later on. I've sent for another writer.
Oh, well, what about that now? If he comes over tonight, well, if he's good, will you fire Thackeray?
Well, maybe.
Well, what kind of a contract do you have with him?
Well, it's just the usual thing, a straight 99-year contract.
And don't forget the option.
Yeah. Confidentially, Del, I sneaked in a cancellation clause in the contract.
Oh, that was smart, Red. But how can you break the contract?
By dying before him and his 5 brothers. I wouldn't mind so much, but he lives at my house. He eats my food, sleeps in my bed, wears my clothes, even goes out with my girl.
Don't you ever had time for yourself?
Only when he sends me on errands.
Hey, Skelton, tell that gag of mine about your uncle.
I can't do it, Thackeray. We're out of the hospital now.
I could arrange to get you back in.
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell it. My Uncle Del was so
And lay off the ad-libs.
My Uncle Del was so crooked. Yeah. He went into a hospital for an X-ray, and they found his bones were loaded.
Stick to me, Skelton, and pretty soon you'll be somebody on this program.
Yeah. After next week's program, I'll be the little man who wasn't there.
Hey, I got another swell gag for you, Skelton, about the jerk.
No.
Please, Thackeray, not that. We just got a letter from the sponsor saying that the jerk has been terribly overworked on this program.
Yeah.
Does that mean that Skelton gets a vacation?
Yeah, starting next... I wish that other author would get here. He writes clever stuff, sophisticated sketches.
Oh, another writer, huh?
Yeah.
What does he look like?
I don't know, Thackeray. I have never met the man.
Well, I'm going outside, so if anybody shows up in here with 2 broken arms, that'll be him.
Yeah. Oh, why did I ever hire that guy? I can write my own jokes. I don't need anybody. See, I got a lot of energy. Boy, when I get going, I'm a regular human domino.
You mean human dynamo?
Oh, domino. I see spots before my eyes. That's probably the author now. Come in. Boy, am I glad you got... Well, are you a writer?
Well, I ain't McGuffey's first reader.
Hercules, an author.
Oh, heavens, yes, Mr. Skelton. I'm the Pulitzer Prize package from Peoria.
Well, the first thing I want to know, Herky, is, are you original?
Well, I ain't a reasonably exact facsimile. And do I work hard, Mr. Skelton? Why, I sat down at my typewriter and whacked and clacked like a hack for 5 days and nights.
I suppose when you finished, you had a masterpiece.
No, I forgot to put a ribbon in the typewriter.
Then you mean you don't have a sketch for me? You haven't any play?
Oh, haven't I? Why, Mr. Skelton, I've got a wonderful original play for you called, well, let's see, I'll give you a synopsis of it first. The play takes place in Africa. And as the first scene opens, you're going through the Suez Canal. And the natives are on the bank of the canal doing a weird dance. You see, they hop around with their index fingers waving in the air, and they yell, EQ, EQ, EQ. This dance is called the Suez EQ.
This ought to be very good.
And then you plunge real deep into the jungle. Yeah. You go from UGG to Ubangi.
You sure?
No, Ubangi. Yeah. Didn't you ever hear of those Ubangi women?
Yeah, I know. That's the girls with their lips in their lap.
Well, then you find out they're cannibals. But they don't eat you because you tell them you're a missionary.
Yeah?
And missionaries have taught them that you can't keep good man down. So on you go looking for the white Bwana.
Bwana? What's a Bwana?
Bwana is what they call a white man. It means master.
Oh.
But no matter where you go, you get the same answer. Ug, yug, wug, hub, nob, Bwanas. That means, yes, we have no Bwanas.
I think I better go out right now and look for a new sponsor.
Oh, no. You see, you go on looking for this white man. Finally, you see a white man in the deepest, darkest part of darkest Africa. And you walk up to him and you say, how about a light? Oh, you do not. You walk up to him and you say, Dr. Livingstone, I presume.
Yes. This is your original story?
Why, it certainly is. I'm calling it Stanley and Livingstone.
Oh, wait a minute, Herky. Stanley and Livingstone were 2 real men. Real men. They've already made 4 movies, 6 plays, and 82 radio sketches about the story.
Oh, good heavens. They can't do that to me. Why, that's that's stealing. I better hurry and get a copyright on my new play, then.
What's the name of it?
Well, I call it The Birth of a Nation.
Yeah. Oh, that ought to be good, too.
Well, I got to scram now. You sure keeps me busy writing for the masses, the misses, the musses, and the messes. So...
Yeah. I think I better get out and find a writer, I presume. Play, Bob.
Friends, if you've seen the time when an extra dollar or two would come in mighty handy, you know the importance, the value of money. Then why pay more for your cigarettes when you can get highest quality in Avalons for 3 to 5 cents less per pack than other popular price brands? They're guaranteed unsurpassed in quality. You'd never guess they cost you less. Give Avalons a trial tonight. The cigarettes that give you so much and cost you so little.
Well, Del, I guess that winds up another one.
Yes, Red, another program has gone by the board.
Yeah, and I want you to be sure and come to my Halloween party next week, Del.
Okay.
We're going to have a lot of games. We'll duck for apples, and I'll win that. And we'll play the witch hunt. I'll probably win that. And then we'll pin the tail on the donkey.
That's the game where they'll stick you.
Yeah. Oh, what's the use? Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that this is the season when good Americans show that they're good neighbors by contributing to their community chest. So let's all be real good neighbors and give freely. Good night, everybody. See you next week. Goodbye now.
Well, friends, we're putting our Skelton back in their closet for this week, and we hope that you've enjoyed our show. Be with us next Wednesday night at this same hour when the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Corporation again presents Red Skelton, Dick Todd, Edna Stillwell, and the entire gang in Avalon time. And remember, friends, during the week when you ask for Avalon cigarettes,
don't forget your change.
So why not always travel on with Avalon?
Costello program brought to you by Camel, the cigarette that's first in the service according to actual sales records. See if your throat and your taste don't make Camel a first with you, too. Find out for yourself. Listen to the great rhythms of Freddie Rich and his orchestra, the swingy singing of Connie Haynes. And that great statesman from the Dumbarton Oaks Conference who said, Costello, come here a minute.
come here, will you please? What's all the excitement about? What are you so happy about?
Oh, look at it.
What?
I just got a letter from my cousin, Corporal Hugo Costello.
Yeah?
He's away over in Africa, and he says all the soldiers in his company are going to have a white Christmas.
Why, you dummy, it's very hot in Africa. How could the soldiers have a white Christmas?
Their cook is going to bleach the beans.
Costello, it's about time you were thinking of Christmas. Do you realize there are only 8 shopping days left? You know, I just bought 100 Christmas seals.
100 Christmas seals?
Sure.
For goodness sakes, how are you going to feed them?
Look, Costello, are you going to make much out of Christmas this year?
Am I what?
Are you going to make much out of Christmas this year?
I can't tell until I sell the presents I get.
Sell your presents?
Oh, sure, Rabbit, sure.
What are you talking about?
I even sold that electric bed warmer you gave me last year. That was no good.
Electric bed warmer? That was an electric toaster.
An electric toaster?
Certainly.
No wonder it kept turning me over and throwing me out of bed.
Well, Costello, I hope you're getting a present from my wife, Betty, this year. You know, and I'll give you a little tip.
Go ahead.
What she really needs is a new girdle.
A what?
A girdle. Don't you know what a girdle is?
Oh, sure. A girdle. It's one of those...
Well, what is it?
You got to have it when you...
Yes. What
if
is
you
it?
don't, you sort of got
Yes,
to...
that I know. Come on.
You got to...
What is it?
It's one of those things that keeps an unhappy situation from spreading.
Look, what about your own family, Costello? What are you going to give your kid brother Sebastian?
Oh, him? Nothing.
What do you mean?
I gave him something last year. He didn't like it.
And then what did you give him?
The measles. And did he use a rash word?
Oh, talk sense, please.
Listen, this year, Abbott, you know what I'm going to do?
No, I don't know.
I'm going to spend all my money on that beautiful girl who lives next door to me, Ruby Poolcue.
Wait a minute. Ruby Poolcue?
She's beautiful.
Why, she isn't beautiful.
She is.
She's got the worst complexion I ever saw.
Well, she can't help that, Abbott. I mean, she got her face caught in a waffle iron. Now she has to pour her makeup on with a syrup pitcher.
Look, what are you going to buy for Ruby?
I'm going to buy her a piano.
A piano? What kind of a piano? Maple, walnut, or cherry?
Well, I'm going to get her one of those kind...
What kind?
What did you say?
I said maple, walnut, or cherry.
Maple walnut? Do you realize what you just said?
Well, what's wrong?
Shame on Abbott!
Wait a minute.
Shame on Paul Abbott!
Well, wait a
what
minute.
you said?
Now, take it easy.
In front of Ken Niles, our announcer.
No.
Shame on Paul
Now, wait a minute, Lou. All right, all I said was maple, walnut, or cherry.
There you go again. I'm glad I found you out, Abbott.
What do you mean? Now, what do you mean?
You're a spy from the Jell-O program.
Please.
A maple, a walnut, or cherry.
Now, look, wait a minute. Look. I simply asked you the kind of wood.
Oh, wood?
Yeah.
Well, I know about the wood. What do you think I am, a woodpecker?
No, certainly
You
not.
think I go around tasting pianos?
Did I ask you that?
You think every time I see a piano, I bite it to see what flavor it is?
Look, Costello, they make pianos out of different kinds of wood. My mother-in-law's piano is maple, so she has a genuine bird's eye.
I know that. And she's got an eagle beak to go with it.
Now, never mind my mother-in-law. Now, you've got a lot of nerve spending your money on Ruby, a girl you hardly know. You never thought to ask me if I needed money for my Christmas shopping.
Do you need money, Abbott?
Oh, well, now that you brought it up...
now that I brought it up.
Well, yes, didn't you just ask me if I needed money?
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen what loose talk can do when it reaches the enemy's ears.
Wait a minute.
A slip of the lip can sink a ship.
Now, wait.
And I have just been scuttled myself.
Now, look. Look, Costello, all I need is $50.
$50?
Yes. Now, look, if you lend me $50, what security would you want?
A padlock, a pair of handcuffs, and a watchdog.
No.
And put your mama in a dungeon for security.
Now, look.
With your father.
Well, now, listen. The only security I can give you is the word of an honest man.
Okay, bring him around. I'll see what I can do for
Now,
you.
look, Costello. You and I are pals. And to show you how much I like you, I'm going to let you lend me the $50.
But, Abbott, all I got in my Christmas piggy bank is $40.
Well, all right. Give me the $40 and you can owe me the $10.
Okay, here's the $40.
Okay.
Now I owe you $10.
That's right.
Who owes who $10?
Now, wait a minute. Just a minute. Wait. How much did I ask you for?
You asked me for $50.
And how much did you give me?
I gave you all I had, $40.
So you owe me $10.
Well, that's right.
Well, why are you?
Kicking.
All right, let it go at that. All right.
You owe me $40.
Costello, I don't like the way you're hedging on me.
And I don't like the way you're clipping my head.
Come on, please. Take it easy.
Give me back
my $40.
Oh, okay, if that's the way you feel. I don't want to do business with a man like you. Here's your $40.
Oh, that's more like it.
Now give me the 10 you owe me.
Okay, here's the 10.
All right.
I'm paying you on account.
On account?
On account, I don't know how come I owe it to you.
Believe me, this is the last time I'll ever ask you for the loan of $50, Costello.
Abbott, look.
No, never mind.
How can I lend you $50 now? I only had $40 to start with.
Well,
now I only got $30.
Okay, if it'll make you happy, I'll do you a favor. Give me the $30 and you can owe me 20.
This is getting worse all the time.
Now, wait a minute. Now, what's the matter?
First I owed you 10, now I owe you 20. What kind of racket is that?
Well, why do you let yourself run into debt?
I didn't run into it. You pushed me. Abbott, did you ever hear the story of the 40 thieves?
Well, yes.
What became of the other 39?
Costello,
Are you the guy that says open, says to me?
Now, listen, I'm surprised at you.
I ad-libbed that. It's no good.
Costello, I'm surprised. Please. Why, I'm just like Santa Claus.
You're better than Santa Claus.
You bet I am.
You can give me a sleigh ride without any reindeer.
Oh,
You know, it's never very easy to get serious after an hilarious to-do with Bud and Lou. But your choice of a cigarette is so important to your throat and your taste that I want to take this moment to urge you to try Camels on your T-zone. That's T for throat and T for taste. See how your throat reacts to Camel's cool mildness. See how your taste enjoys the rich, full flavor of Camel's magnificent blend of costlier tobaccos. You may find that your throat and your taste, your T-zone, proclaim Camel your own personal cigarette.
C-A-M-E-L-S.
Camels, the cigarette of costlier tobaccos. Here's lovely Connie Haynes with her Christmas Shopper special. So grab your bundles, everybody, and let's all take a ride on the trot.
With my high starch collar and my high top shoes and my hair piled high upon my hair, I went to lose a jolly hour upon the trolley and lost my heart instead. With his light brown derby and his bright green tie, he was quite the handsomest of men. I started to yen, so I counted to 10, then I counted to 10 again. Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Zing, zing, zing went my heartstrings. For the moment I saw him, I fell. Chug, chug, chug went the motor. Bump, bump, bump went the brake. Thump, thump, thump went my heartstrings. When he smiled, I could feel the car shake. He tipped his hat and took a seat. He said he hoped he hadn't stepped upon my feet. He asked my name, I held my breath. I couldn't speak because he scared me half to death. Buzz, buzz, buzz went the buzzer. Flop, flop, flop went the wheel. Stop, stop, stop went my heartstrings. As he started to leave, I took hold of his sleeve with my hand, and as if it were planned, he stayed on with me, and it was grand just to stand with his hand holding mine to the end of the line.
All right, Costello, come on. Let's go downtown and do our Christmas shopping. Here comes the streetcar.
Clang, clang, clang went the trolley.
All right.
A-ding, a-ding, a-ding went the
Costello, come here. You want to get hit? Get out of there. Come over here. Stand here in the safety zone.
You know what?
In the safety zone. Don't you know why those safety zones are here?
Sure. If you get hit inside the white lines, it don't count.
Oh. Be quiet, please. Here's the trolley now.
Hey, Abbott.
What?
Look at the crowd on that streetcar.
Never mind. Go on. Shove your way in.
Oh, young man, you can't squeeze in here.
Okay, babe. Let's wait till we get off. You got your one line. Get your dough and get...
Hey, you fat boy. Come on, drop your fare in a box. Here's the fare, conductor, and give us 2 transfers.
You won't need transfers. No? Then how are we going to ride on the next car without a transfer? Just tell the next conductor that Orville sent you. Uh-oh. That guy's off his trolley.
Oh, come on, Costello. Let's step back in the car and find a seat. Hey, look out for that man with that umbrella. Oh, my goodness, what happened?
Somebody just took my seat.
Say, you little short fat man, can't you reach that strap?
I think so.
Then would you mind letting go of my garter?
They shouldn't let these tall people on streetcars. You shouldn't bring me on these crowded streetcars, Abbott. My Uncle Artie Stebbins got his eye hurt in this crowded streetcar.
Got his eye hurt?
Yep. He had his eye on a seat, and the fat lady came along and sat on it.
All right, look, stop this nonsense. Here, the car's stopping. Here, let's get off. We're far enough downtown anyway. Okay, come on, get off.
Okay, don't push.
I'm not pushing. Get off.
Hey, Abbott, look. What? There's a pet shop. I think I'll go in and get my mother a squirrel for Christmas. She needs a squirrel to help her do housework.
Oh, how could a squirrel help her with the housework?
Well, she can tie his tail up and let him run between the Venetian blinds.
Don't be silly. Let's go in here to Bingle's department store.
Hey, Abbott.
What?
Look who's standing there with a carnation in his buttonhole.
Hey, it's your kid brother, Sebastian. Come here, Sebastian. What are you doing in Bingle's department store?
I'm a handyman, Uncle Bud, and today I'm working as a floor walker.
How can you be a floor walker? You're too little.
Well, they need a little guy like me. You see, when the people block up the aisles, I bite them on the leg and keep moving.
Costello, your kid brother has no business in this store. He should be in school.
I ain't going to go to school no more, Uncle Bud. School is nothing but a racket.
School is a racket?
Yep. The kids do all the work, and the teachers get paid for it. Anyway, I had a fight with my teacher.
A fight?
Yeah, this morning I held up my hand, and the teacher said, Sebastian, do you want to leave the room?
And what did you say?
I said, you don't think I'm standing here hitchhiking, do you?
No. Sebastian.
She let me go!
All right. I can imagine. Listen, Sebastian. Now, if you don't go back to school, I'm not going to give you this beautiful animal picture book for Christmas.
Oh,
now.
But let me see the animals. Oh, isn't that a pretty nice book?
Isn't it pretty?
What's the name of this animal over here, Uncle Bud?
Oh, you should know the name of that animal, Sebastian. Just look at that graceful body, the slim legs, and the long antlers. And
I don't seem to recognize it.
Oh, come, Sebastian. You know this animal's name. Here, I'll make it easy for you. What does your mother call your father?
Don't tell me that's a louse.
Hey, look.
Hey, Abbott, I gotta beat it. Here comes the manager.
Lorenzo Grandi, as a manager, I'm dandy.
Quetzal, don't tell me you're the manager of Bingle's department store.
That I am, my little man. I'm in full charge of the dry goods department.
How about sundries?
Sundries is my day off. Well, gentlemen, what can I do for you? Here I got some delicious pajamas for only $30.
$30 for pajamas?
Yeah.
Look, Kitzel, here's $15. Just give me the top half.
Huh?
I'll send it to my Uncle Mike Burrell in Patterson.
Oh, Costello, you can't send just the tops of the pajamas.
Oh, sure I can. I'll put a card in it that says, Merry Christmas from the waist up.
Look, Costello, you've only got $40. And remember, you wanted to buy an easy chair for your father.
And I've got just the easy chair you're looking at. That's a genuine mohair. The seat is covered with mohair, the back is covered with mohair, and it's got a footstool also covered with mohair.
Everything is covered with mohair.
Yeah.
I'll bet Mo hasn't got a hair left in his head.
Mo hasn't got a... That's a slick one.
So is Mo's head.
Look, Costello, how about that piano you wanted to buy for your girlfriend, Ruby?
Now you're talking my language. You know, I'm the head fish in the piano department.
The head fish?
Yeah, I'm a piano tuner.
All right. Don't worry.
You know, today I got a special on a slightly used player piano with 3 dozen piano rolls.
Oh, I bought a bunch of those music rolls last week. And I papered my bedroom walls with them. And boy, were they noisy.
Noisy?
Yeah, every time I sneezed, the walls played, Milkman, keep those bottles quiet.
Headlines on front pages, cartoons in the magazines, photographs in the picture publications, all saying the same thing, cigarette shortage. Well, no need to tell you how many cigarettes are going overseas and how much more the people on the home front are smoking these days. And so it's inescapable that sometimes your dealer has to say, no Camels today. But remember this, paste it in your hat, and write it in your notebook, Camel's rich, full flavor and cool mildness make them worth asking for the very next time you buy cigarettes. War or peace, Camel is still Camel.
C-A-M-E-L-S.
Camels, the cigarette of costlier tobaccos. While Abbott and Costello are shopping for an old-fashioned Christmas, Freddie Rich plays an old-fashioned song, Whispering.
Costello, please, do you realize we've been walking around the store for over 3 hours and you haven't bought a thing?
I can't help it. I can't find a pin I like, and I don't know what else to get my girl.
Well, why don't you buy Miss Pool Q a diamond ring and get it over
I
with?
can't. I bought her a beautiful diamond ring last year. It was a beautiful 12-carat stone.
Yeah?
What a sparkler. It scares me every time she wears it.
Are you afraid she'll lose it?
No, but if she ever drops it, she'll have 7 years bad luck.
Look, don't be silly, Costello. Say, have you noticed how bright and happy and cheerful all the shoppers are?
They should be.
Have you noticed all that?
Swell. Look at that gaiety.
Yeah.
They're all full of the spirit of Yuletide.
Yeah, the Yuletide is all... Yuletide! Yuletide?
Yuletide.
You mean Yuletide.
I'll tide what?
No. But speaking of mules, hey, here's the shoe department. Now, that gives me a very, very bright idea. Why don't you buy your girlfriend a pair of mules?
A pair of what?
What do you say to a pair of mules?
I say, whoa, or get out. I mean, if he's stubborn, I whip him.
Costello, look, I'm talking about a pair...
I get a jockey like Bailey, I put him on and whip him good.
All right, look,
get him.
will you listen to me, please? I'm talking about a pair of bedroom mules.
Oh, what?
Bedroom mules.
Bedroom mules?
Yes. My wife has all kinds of mules in her bedroom. Red mules, green mules. She even has a pair of checkered mules.
Abbott, did you see all these different colored mules with your own eyes?
Why, certainly why not? I see them every night. In fact, I saw them this morning.
All the colored mules?
Every one of them.
Let me smell your breath.
There you are. I'll behave. Look, you dummy. Doesn't your mother have mules in her bedroom?
No, my father's very particular.
Look. When your mother gets up in the morning, what does she put on her feet?
Corn plaster.
That's the... Oh, no. Please, no. She must have some kind of mules. Look, there are two kinds of mules, silk and felt.
Felt?
Yes. Hasn't your mother felt mules?
No, sir. She never touches any kind of animal.
Oh, come.
Especially when she's cooking.
Now, look. Forget about the animal, please. Look, every woman likes mules. My wife uses a pair of mules to go around the house in.
What's the matter? Is she too lazy to walk?
No. Look, when she gets up in the morning, she always slips on her mule.
It's her own fault. Why don't she keep them out in the backyard?
Right, listen. My wife needs her mules to keep her feet warm.
You mean you all sleep in the same bed?
Sleep in the same bed? My wife keeps her mules under the bed.
For goodness sakes, don't the Board of Health complain?
Oh. Look, let's get the whole thing. Here I am trying to help you with your Christmas shopping, and what do I get? A lot of idiotic talk.
Oh, pardon me, gentlemen. Is there anything I can do for you? We carry a full line of cosmetics, rouge, powder, lipstick, face cream, and cleansing tissue.
Cleansing what?
Tissue.
Well, it seems kind of chilly, but if you want to kiss me, go ahead. You kiss me, and I'll kiss you.
Costello, this lady is trying to help you.
Yeah.
Now you stop talking like that.
No.
She's trying to help you.
That's what she's trying.
Yes, yeah.
No, she don't want to...
I have some lovely perfumes here. Take a whiff of this. It's called One Night in Paris.
One Night in Paris?
Yes.
Take a whiff of this.
My goodness, what is that?
5 days at the racetrack.
Costello, look, let me handle this, please. Look, madam, my friend here is a little confused. He doesn't know what to get his girl for Christmas.
Oh, well, maybe I can help.
I wish you would, please.
Yeah. What kind of a complexion does your girlfriend have? Is she fair, dark, or medium?
She's speckled.
Speckled? Do you mean she has a complexion of an olive?
Yes, ma'am. Pits and all.
Well, from your description of the girl, I imagine she could use one of our facial kits.
One of your what?
The lady wants to sell you a kit.
What I want to buy a kit for? I'm going to get married and have kits of my own.
Oh, no. You see, you don't understand. This is a beauty kit with full instructions. All your girlfriend has to do is apply some of this lotion. Then she covers her face with the white of an egg, some sour cream, and a keg of yeast.
Oh, she did that once.
Yeah, what happened?
The next morning, she broke out in biscuits. Kiss you. Just a kiss her on.
Never mind, quiet. Never mind, no remarks, Costello, please.
You silly boy, you tickle me.
Oh, here we go again. You tickle me first.
No.
Abbott, you kiss her.
I will not, please.
Where did I leave off?
Costello, look, if you don't buy something pretty soon, I'm going to walk out and leave you.
Oh, now, just a moment, boys. Now, how about something...
I found it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
I don't want you to get away now. How about something for the young lady's hair? Does she have a snoot?
Certainly she's got a snoot.
Yeah? Well, is it a long snoot that hangs down her back?
No. It's a short snoot that turns up at the end. She's a very snooty dame.
Costello, the lady is talking about your girlfriend's hairdo.
Yeah. What's your girlfriend's hairdo?
What's her hairdo?
Yeah, that's what I said.
It comes out when she combs it.
No, Costello, we're trying to find out what does she do with her hair? Does she pile it on top of her head, or does she drop it down her neck?
She just hangs it in a cloth.
No, you dummy. Some women wear buns in their hair, and some have rats.
Rats?
Yes. My mother had a rat in her hair for years.
That's no way to talk about your father.
Look, Costello, does Miss Poolcue wear her hair off her face?
No, it takes too long to wear it off. She has to pull it out with a tweet.
Costello, that's no way to talk about your girlfriend. That's slander.
Slander?
Yes. Don't you know what slander is?
Sure, slander.
Yes.
Tall and skinny. And that has nothing to do with my girl. She's short and fat like me. Only I'm prettier than she is.
Say, you say your girl is short and fat.
Yes.
I've got just the Christmas present for her. Our special weight-reducing machine called the Melt Your Belt Away Fat Cabinet. There it is, standing right there.
Costello, that sounds good. How much does your girl weigh?
240 pounds with her girdle on.
Well, how much does she weigh with it off?
I don't know. She's never been able to get it off.
Well, now, this machine will take your girl's fat off. If you don't believe it, get into the machine and try it for yourself.
Now, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I don't think I want to get in
Go
there.
on, get in the machine.
Abbott, I said I don't want to get in there.
Find out if it works.
I won't get in there.
Go on, get in there. Get in there. There you are.
Now, that's a good boy. Now we'll turn on the machine, and you'll see how it melts the fat away in no time.
Costello, where are you? Speak to me. Costello, where are you?
I'm right here, Abbott.
But all I see is a little puddle of water.
Well, don't step in it. It's me.
Abbott and Costello will be back in just a moment.
Thanks to the Yanks of the Week, Tonight we salute Sergeant Benjamin F. Lambeth of Asheboro, North Carolina, awarded the Silver Star for his gallantry in action in Italy. In one mission, he is credited with killing 25 Nazis, wounding 5 more, and scattering the rest in confusion. In your honor, Sergeant Lambeth, the makers of camels are sending to our fighters overseas 400,000 Camel cigarettes.
Each of the 3 Camel radio shows honors the Yank of the Week by sending free 400,000 Camel cigarettes overseas. A total of more than 1 million Camels sent free each week. In this country, the Camel caravans traveling from camp to camp have thanked audiences of more than 4 million Yanks with free shows and free Camels. Camel broadcasts go out to the United States 3 times a week, are rebroadcast to our men overseas and to South America. Listen tomorrow to Jimmy Durante and Gary Moore, Monday to Bob Hawke in Thanks to the Yanks, and next Thursday to Abbott and Costello. And now, here are Bud and Lou with the final word.
Well, Costello, you bought presents for everybody. I hope you're very, very happy.
Abbott, I could be a lot happier. Oh, if I was only a nurse.
A nurse?
That's right.
What would you do if you were a nurse?
You know, Abbott, I read in the paper today that there's an urgent need for more Army nurses.
Oh, yes, I know about that. And do you know, Lou, that any nurse who enters the Army Nurse Corps now will enter with the rank of second lieutenant, and there is ample opportunity for advancement.
You know, I hope that all the nurses that are listening in tonight will join the Army Nurse Corps and give their country the best Christmas present of all.
Yes, girls, write immediately to the Surgeon General, United States Army, Washington, D.C., or call at your nearest Red Cross chapter.
Good night, folks. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. And I hope Commander Holsel feels much better. Good night to everybody in Patterson.
Be sure to tune in next week for another great Abbott and Costello show. And remember, try Camels on your throat and your taste. See for yourself how Camel's mildness, coolness, and flavor click with you.
Here's a Christmas gift that will bring the man who gets it a lot of pleasure long after Christmas is over. A generous pound or half-pound package of Prince Albert's smoking tobacco with the bright holiday band. Every time he packs and lights his favorite pipe with this favorite tobacco, he will think of your thoughtfulness. His taste will thank you for the full, rich, yet mild flavor. His tongue will thank you for Prince Albert's gentleness due to the no-bite treatment. Another thing men like about Prince Albert is the crimp cut, which guarantees perfect packing, smooth drawing, and even burning right down to the last puff. You really make a pipe smoker's Christmas merry when you give him Prince Albert tobacco.
The Abbott and Costello show for Camel cigarettes will be back at this very same time next week. Don't miss it. This is Ken Niles in Hollywood, wishing you all a pleasant good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, at any moment during the next 30 minutes, someone might receive $1,000 cash. At any moment during the next 30 minutes.
Really?
You bet your life. Here's the show that has the $1,000 bell that rings at the mention of the mystery word. And here's the star of You Bet Your Life, one of the greatest stars of all time,
Jupiter.
A man known to millions everywhere.
Howard Hughes.
Someone who's worked up from the bottom of the ladder.
Oh, Margaret Truman.
The one and only...
Thank you. This is Groucho Marx. Well, here I am, stepping in over my head again. Folks, this is just as new to me as it is to you. I've never done one of these shows before, but we've got several couples up here on the stage, a lot of people in the seats out front, and the doors are locked,
so I've got to go through with it. Besides, somebody might win $1,000 cash at any moment. All I know is it can't be me. Jack Slattery, who's the first couple?
Well, Miss Merle McHugh and Mr. Robert Brooks meet the man with all the money, Groucho Marx.
Who's Mark? Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Folks, we advertise for a lot of people to come to the show today who are interested in getting married, but who haven't found the right mate yet. And just before we went on the air, these two volunteers were chosen from the audience. Have you two met each other before?
No.
Miss McHugh, shake hands with Mr. Brooks.
How do you do?
I now pronounce you man and wife.
Hey, wait a minute, Groucho. You're going a little bit too fast.
Well, I guess I was a little hasty. So you two want to get married, eh?
That's right.
Mr. Brooks, may I ask one question?
Yes, Mr. Marx.
Why? And Miss McHugh, why do you want to get married?
Well,
Are you being evicted?
No. I think I'm about the right age. And
Oh, the right age. You certainly are. Now, before we give you a chance to make $1,000, let's see how well matched you are. Who knows? Maybe cubic marks will light a fire here. Could be. Would you mind telling me how old you are, Miss McHugh?
22.
22, eh? And what is your occupation?
I'm a waitress.
A waitress?
Yes.
We should wait on me occasionally. And how old are you?
24, Mr. Marx.
24? And what is your occupation?
I sell clothes.
Well, wholesale?
No.
I see. Well, how tall is your ideal dream man, Miss McHugh?
Well, usually over 6 feet.
Oh, are you over 6 feet?
Yes, I am. 6'1".
6'1", huh? Well, these two may get along all right here, huh? Merle, do you prefer the polite type or the rugged caveman type?
Well, I don't like to be dragged around by the hair, but I like somebody that's kind of polite on the surface and maybe strong once in a while. You know.
What about you? How do you feel about that, huh?
Well, I think she's got me right on the head there. You see, I'm rugged, but I'm still...
well, I mean, do you like to drag girls around by the hair, huh?
I can try it sometime.
Well, I guess it could be fun at that, huh? Now, tell me, do you prefer blondes or brunettes?
Well, honestly, brunettes.
You like brunettes best, huh?
Sure.
Is this a sudden decision, or is this something that you...
No, it's been going on for quite some time.
It has, huh? And how do you feel about it, Merle?
Well, I usually like redheads, but I can make exceptions.
This girl knows how to wait, I'll tell you that. Now, Bob, what do you think? Do you think that a fella should kiss a girl on the first date?
Yes, definitely.
Well, you're pretty impartial with that decision, huh?
Yes, very much so.
But why do you feel that way, huh?
Well, if you like the girl and you want to go out and have a good time and you had a terrific evening, and you come back and you both stand on the doorstep, it's silly to say goodnight and walk away, isn't it? I mean, I'd like to get all about you in a very few days, and that wouldn't be any good.
Well, you might kiss her and she might forget about you even quicker, huh?
But not me.
Not the way you kiss. Well, I don't know. I've never kissed you, so I don't know. However, I'm not doing anything tonight. Now, Merle, how do you feel about this? Do you think that a fella should kiss a girl the first time he takes her out? Or do you feel that's like walking into a candy store and swiping the stuff before you paid for it, huh?
I don't know if it's kind of a surprise, spontaneous. I guess I wouldn't mind. I mean,
you mean if it's combustion?
That makes it kind of uncomfortable.
Oh, you just want him to grab you and kiss you, huh?
Mm-hmm. If I liked him well enough to go out with him, I guess I wouldn't mind too much if he kissed me.
I see. Well, I'm not doing anything tonight either. Now, tell me, Bob, what do you think is the ideal size family? I mean, this is a natural sequence from kissing. I mean, I'd just like to find out how you feel. What is your conception of the 3?
Yeah, 2 boys and a girl.
2 boys and a girl, huh? And how do you feel about it?
Well, that's funny. I like 2 boys and a girl, too. That was nice.
He's hooked already, I can see. He hasn't disagreed with anything he said yet, huh? Well, you each want 2 boys and a girl, huh? Mm-hmm. That's 6 children you want, huh? You make a pretty good partnership. Do you have any idea what you're going to do right now?
No.
Do you have any idea? Well, you're going to work together. In a nice way, of course. You have something in common now. You two and each of the couples here on stage have just been credited with $20 on our books. I'll ask each couple 3 questions. You bet me you can answer those questions using any part of the $20 you want. The idea is to build your $20 into as much money as possible. Because the couple winning the most money not only gets to keep it, but also gets a chance at a $1,000 question at the end of the show. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how'd you like a chance at the $1,000 right this minute?
Good idea.
Well, if you happen to mention a certain secret word any time you're up here talking, a bell will ring like this. That doesn't mean you have to jump out the window. That means you get a chance at the $1,000 question. Now, when the bell rings, I'll ask you the $1,000 question immediately, and if you answer it right, you collect the $1,000.
This is Jack Slattery off stage where no one in the studio can hear me. If anybody mentions the word air, A-I-R, during the rest of the show, he gets a chance at the $1,000 question. Remember, the secret word is air, A-I-R. And now, back to Groucho.
If you were married, you would probably get 900 and she'd get 100, huh? Now, what would you do with the 500 that you'd win?
Oh, I'd like to buy some clothes and maybe a couple of books and records. Mostly clothes.
Mostly clothes, huh? And you?
I'm the saving kind. I'll save that for the honeymoon.
Well, look pretty on the honeymoon.
Well, look, he sells the clothes. Are you going to buy the clothes from him?
20% discount.
I see. Well, I wonder which of our couples is going to win the most money. Just to be fair, so the other couples will know how much this couple ends up with, I'd like you other contestants to get off the stage. Beat it! Scram, Ward. Lock them in the dressing room. Stuff a vice president in their ears. We'll bring them back one at a time. Okay, they're gone now. Now, you two get 3 questions. First one is on food. How much of your $20 do you want to bet you can answer it?
10.
If you bet 10,
No,
you make 10. Now, wait a minute.
Let's
Decide
bet
between you.
No, I mean 10.
Now, let's bet 5 and be conservative. Just to start out. See
You're
what
going to find
happens.
out now who's the boss here.
All right. We'll bet 5.
You're going to bet 5? It's that way in every family. I don't know why you're all so surprised out there. Now, let me understand this. You're betting $5 between you. Is that right?
That's right.
Now, you can take all the time you want on this answer. I'll give you 5 seconds. Now, here's the question. In the entire world, what food is most extensively used? Wheat, corn, rice, or pablum? You get one answer between you now, so talk it over.
Wheat?
What do you think?
Imagine, because that's used for a lot of other things, too.
Yeah, wheat.
We'll say wheat.
We say wheat.
I'm sorry. The answer is rice. If you folks had been married, you'd have been aware of that, huh? Now, how much have they got, Jack?
They got $15, Groucho.
They've got $15. Well, now's your second question. It's on etiquette. This question pays 2 to 1. How much do you want to bet of your $15? Remember, you've got to make more than the other couples in order to get a chance at the $1,000 question.
Let's try 10 this time.
No, let's go 5 this time.
Oh, brother, is he going to save their money when they get married?
Yeah,
Huh?
I know we'll
We've got to
double
get
it.
it back and double it this time.
Well, all right, make it 10.
Make it 10.
Well, here it is. Is it proper to break a piece of bread or roll in the soup? No, is it proper to break a piece of bread or roll in the soup?
What do you think?
Is it proper or improper?
I don't think so. I think it's improper.
You think it's
no,
improper?
No, I wouldn't say it that way. I would say that it wasn't improper, but it just isn't done.
Well, but you've got to answer one way or the other. You can't be a diplomat here. You've got to come right out with some kind of a specific answer.
I'll say no.
No, it's not proper.
It's not proper. You're absolutely right. It's very improper, especially to roll in the soup. Now, how much have they got, Jack?
I'll have $35, Groucho.
$35. Now, for your last chance, it's a general question. How much of your $35 do you want to bet? It pays 3 to 1 this time. So if you win, you've got $105.
What's the question about?
That's the thing we don't reveal, huh?
Oh.
We'll make this question even more interesting. If you get it right, we'll send an Admiral radio phonograph combination to anybody you name in each of your hometowns. Well, if you get it right, who shall we send it to and where?
I'd like to send it to my mother in New York.
Your mother is in New York,
Yes.
huh? She hasn't got a radio phonograph?
No, she hasn't, as a
No.
matter of fact.
I see. Has she got a husband?
Yes. Last I heard from her, she did.
Oh, she did, huh? Is that in recent years, huh?
Still does.
And where would you like your radio phonograph combination sent? The Admiral radio phonograph.
Well, I suppose my mother also in Wisconsin.
Oh. Nobody's mother apparently has a phonograph, huh? In Wisconsin? Whereabouts in Wisconsin? Milwaukee. Well, there's a lot of beer there. I didn't know they were short on radios, though. I guess if you got enough beer, you don't need a radio, huh? Okay, now, how much are you betting?
Make it $20 and clear it off.
All right, let's do
You're betting $20, huh? Okay, if you get it right, they get the radios. If you get it wrong, you probably get time bombs in the next mail. Now, here's the question. Does mohair come from a camel, a sheep, a goat, or a toupee? A camel, a sheep, a goat, or a toupee?
Yeah.
Now, talk it over.
Now, let's think about it. It couldn't be a camel, could it? Because that camel there. Sheep? Well, let's say the goat. Do you think so?
Yeah, must be a goat.
A goat is absolutely right, Jack.
Oh.
What did they find out? Well, let me congratulate you, huh? Boy, I didn't do, don't I?
Just introduced.
They ended up with $95.
$95. Well, congratulations to you and I.
A good friendship.
You just sit down over there. We'll see you all later, huh? I wonder if any of the other couples will make more than $95. If they don't, you two get a chance at the $1,000 question. Okay, boys, send in the next couple. You two sit down over there and split your winnings. If you go ahead and get married, let us know. Put the handcuffs on him, boys, so he can't get away. We got a little time left, so before I give the winning couple their $1,000 question, I want to give our guests who are going to be married something special. Something they can use all their married life, something that costs me nothing. Jump down, huh? Now, here's a problem that I hope doesn't come up too soon with you newlyweds, but you might as well listen. It's a letter from Mrs. R.H. in Dallas, who writes, I found a romantic letter in my husband's pocket from another woman. Should I forget about it, or should I go and visit the other woman? What do you think? Raise your hands, huh? We'll take this lady right here, huh? Take up for everything she's got. What do you think should be the answer, huh?
Well,
what is your name, miss?
I'm Mrs. Lillian Watkins.
Oh, I thought you were a miss. Miss
no,
Watkins,
I've been married 25 years.
25 years.
Yes,
and how many little Watkins, huh?
I haven't any.
No Watkins at all? Well, you're still time. 25 years isn't too long, huh? And what is your occupation?
Life, there's hope.
Yes, there is. And sometimes while there's life, there's time, huh? What is your occupation, miss?
Well, I'm a housewife, but I used to be a long-distance telephone operator.
Oh, I bet you've given me many a wrong number in my time, huh?
I suppose I have.
Well, no wonder you have no children with all those wrong numbers, huh? Now, what do you think is the answer to this problem, huh?
Well, I've been married 25 years, and if I found a letter in my husband's pocket today, I would just ignore it because good husbands are hard to find.
I think you've got something there. I think even bad husbands are hard to find. I think that's a very logical solution. Thank you very much, huh? Well, the time's up. That's all the advice we can spread around right now. It's time to give our winning couple a $1,000 question. Thanks to you folks in the audience for your advice. I hope everybody made notes.
Well, come back on the stage out there, Quiz Kid, because the winning couple is waiting for the $1,000 question.
Where'd I get on
Remember,
snake here?
They are Miss Helen Hayden and Mr. John Bagnoli. That's the couple about to be married. They ran their $20 into $158.
Are you nervous, kids, or do you always turn green this time of year? Well, tell us again, what are you going to do with the $1,000 if you win it? Now you'll have to get married, won't you, huh?
Sure will. That'll be a good start.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do with the money if you win it? You still going to buy the Bendix?
Well, we have to get back to New York very soon because his school is in New Jersey, so I guess part of it will go for that.
All right. Well, here's the question. If you answer it, you get $1,000 cash right now. The question is on current events. Everybody reads the newspaper and should keep abreast of the times. Let's hope you folks do. I'll give you 10 seconds. Ready? Here it is. And please don't anybody in the audience shout it out. We'll only have to give them another question. Okay. Who is the wife of the president of Argentina? Decide the answer between you now.
Eva Peron.
Absolutely right. You have won $1,000. Congratulations. You've just won $1,000, and here it is. I wonder if they've revived the sponsor yet. Anyway, you deserve the money. You worked hard for it. And I know it'll be a big help to you in the future. Congratulations again, and here's wishing you a happy married life. And don't forget to invite me to your golden wedding. Huh?
Oh, thank you very much.
Next week, another $1,000 might be given away at any moment. And if nobody gets it next week, it'll go up to $2,000 the following week. Anything else, Groucho?
Only that I want to sincerely thank all of you for helping me out this past half hour. I hope you liked it. I know I've had a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing you, all of you, next week when we'll be on the air again to bring... Hey, I said it, the secret word. I said air, and that was it, air. Pay me $1,000, somebody.
Oh, Groucho, you can't take that money away.
I know it. I was just carried away. Good night, folks. Good morning, folks.
Join us next week. It's exciting, it's fun. You Bet Your Life, a John Goodell production. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Well, sir, it's about 4:30 o'clock as we approach the small house halfway up in the next block now. And here on the front porch, we find Sade and young Russell. Mother and son are swinging gently in the swing, and the latter is describing recent exciting events in Tatman's vacant lot.
Neither Bluetooth or Smelly wanted to fight, but they got egged into it.
They actually hit each other?
No, they never quite got that far. All they done was stand there with their fists doubled up.
What was the trouble in the first place?
Oh, it was a terrible hot day there in Tatman's vacant lot, and the ball game got dull, and Heine Call suggested we quit. So we all lined up and sat down in a row on the curb in there at Monroe and Lee Street. Then Archie McDupper, he's a mean guy anyway, he figured he'd stir up some excitement by getting Bluetooth and Smelly mad at each other. Here's the way he went about it. He passed
Mr. Papa coming up the sidewalk. He's early today. Can't be 4:30 o'clock yet, is it? He feels good about something. Almost smiling. What's funny?
I might have known better than to get started telling something.
Why? I was listening.
Uh-huh.
I was. Whatchamafunny and so had a terrible fight. Didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Whatchamafunny and so had a terrible fight. Just more than lambasted each other.
Oh, my name is George Francis Blow.
Hi, Gov.
I've come about the rent. You people haven't paid any rent for 3 years.
Haven't you got your hat on backwards?
Now, that's a fine way to greet your loving husband that you haven't seen since noon. Otherwise, when their husbands come home from work, say, "Hello, darling, honey bunch, you're the sweetest man in town." But my wife says, "Haven't you got your hat on backwards?" No wonder I spend half my time crying. Russell, get up out of that porch swing immediately.
So you can sit down, huh?
Why is everybody mean to me?
You act like you're happy about something.
Russell, get up, I say.
I'm getting up.
He's a bad, wicked boy. He's willing to sit sluggishly in the porch swing while his poor old papa perches up on the railing and runs a chance of falling over backwards and breaking his neck.
Oh, I run a chance of falling over backwards and breaking my neck myself when I perch on the railing.
I've quibbled enough, sir. I don't mind telling you that you've plunged me into a quivering rage. I'm mad clean through.
What you so happy about?
Happy?
Yes.
Me? Happy? Sadie, you're as sharp as a tack. A man's insane if he tries to conceal anything from you.
Receive a raise in your pay?
Nope.
Lolita de Renzi tell you your head was so pear-shaped and delicious you ought to be in the moving picture show.
What an incorrigible girl you are, to be sure, Dr. Sleets.
Oh, boy, I'm incorrigible as can be.
Oyster Cracker gets a tremendous kick out of
Don't teeter back and forth on that railing, Willie. We don't want you in the hospital.
You made that remark like you already had one person in the hospital. You said, we don't want you in the hospital.
Well?
Oh, you put the accent on you. It sounded like you hoped I wouldn't have to go to the hospital on top of all the other members of the family that's in the hospital.
What kind of silly talk is that?
Well, don't you get my point?
No.
You said, don't teeter back and forth on that railing, Willie. We don't want you in the hospital.
Well, don't teeter back and forth on that railing.
Well, you still don't get my point. You still don't see...
People. Papa was talking. Papa was about to tell something.
Go ahead. Tell it.
Your surmise was absolutely correct when you guessed I was happy about something. I received a letter this afternoon, and I've been hugging myself ever since.
Who'd you receive it from?
Hunky J. Sponger.
Oh, the big large gink in Chicago?
Yes.
Did he say he wanted to publish a picture?
Don't bother guessing, kiddo. You'd never guess in a million years. Well, what happened, Dr. Sleech? I was busy as a horse when the mail arrived this afternoon, and all I had time to do was skim over Hunky J. Sponger's letter. But what I read filled me with exultation. I was elated as a small boy with a new football. Here's the idea. Hunky J. Sponger makes a bright, splendid, dazzling suggestion in his letter. It's a suggestion my whole soul responds to. But I know there's objection to it. I'm sure it's not feasible or practical, and I hesitate to...
Well, what is Hunky J. Sponger's big notion is?
Well, just this.
All right, I'm listening.
Hunky J. Sponger suggests that the All-Star marching team go on summer maneuvers.
Yeah?
I guess you don't get the impact of that when it's thrown at you so sudden these days. Well, I'll feed it a little more slowly.
All right.
Hunky J. Sponger of Lodge Headquarters in Chicago suggests that the All-Star marching team of the Sacred Stars of the Milky Way go on summer maneuvers during the month of August.
That still don't make me jump up and down, scream like a panther.
No, probably not. But it hits me right where I live. Why, I could hardly hold back a whinny of joy when I skimmed over that letter this afternoon.
You and the other fellas camp out, Gov? Is that the idea?
It's an approximation of the idea. Hunky J. Sponger's thought was that such an enterprise would bring valuable publicity to the All-Star marching team. Yes, Russell, the term camping out, sir, just as well as the term summer maneuvers.
You'd camp out with the other 9 guys that belong to the outfit and practice marching and work out different...
practice marching. Practice marching all day long. Why, Hunky J. Sponger's even arranged for us to provide us with a tent. A regulation Chautauqua tent that accommodates 4 cots.
Say...
Where would you do your camping out?
Dismal Seepage, Ohio. There's a plot of ground just outside the city limits that could be made available. No fooling. I've been hugging myself all afternoon. Oh, I know there must be objections to it. But just think. Me and all the boys on summer maneuvers for a whole month out underneath the open sky. Why, just the thought of it thrills me to my toes.
An objection just occurred to me, Gov.
Well, don't dig too deep for objections.
You said the tent Hunky J. Sponger is willing to provide only accommodates 4 cots.
4 cots, yes.
Well, there's 10 of you All-Star marching guys.
What, 2 guys to a cot? 2 guys to a cot? We'd expect to rough it a little.
Well, a cot is only made to accommodate 1 person, though. 2 persons in a cot is a horrible, uncomfortable hardship.
And it wouldn't come out even anyway. The tent would have to accommodate 5 cots.
Why?
10 fellas.
I imagine we'd have ingenuity enough and inventive strategy enough to figure out some workable sleeping arrangements.
Homer McDancy's in the hospital.
What?
You mentioned the other day one of the All-Star guys, Homer McDancy of East Brain, Oregon's in the hospital.
Yes, you did.
If he's in the hospital, he certainly won't be able to...
He is in the hospital. That's right. Well, hey, maybe the objections will cancel each other. With Homer McDancy in the hospital, there'll be more room in the tent.
Every dark cloud has a silver lining.
Exactly. No, maybe this enterprise will work out. By George, I'd be the happiest man on the face of the earth.
Hey, Why First broke his foot.
What?
Why First won't be able to march yet. He only broke his foot a few days ago when that fast passenger train hit him and knocked him clear
thunder,
over.
I forgot about that. No, he can't march.
Makes more room in the tent.
What?
Why Flirt's not being there will make more room in the tent.
Well, that's right, Gov.
Why Flirt's, though, is a good first lieutenant. I'd rather have him along on summer maneuvers than almost
You're
any
mad
other.
at Robert and Slobbert Hank.
Huh?
I thought of another objection.
Well, don't break any bones in your frantic efforts to think of objections. What was the objection you thought of?
You're mad at Robert and Slobbert Hank. You wouldn't want them camping out with you.
No, I wouldn't. They're big crooks.
Make more room in the tent.
What?
Robert and Slobbert Hank not going on the summer maneuvers would make more room in the tent.
You're not being impertinent, I hope, Russell, honey.
No.
I would advise you not to wax jocular with Papa. I would advise you not to...
E.W. Smith is in jail.
E.W. Smith is not in jail.
Well, he steals so many horses, he's always...
E.W. Smith is not in jail. E.W. Smith is not in jail.
Oh, well, Ish, don't get mad.
E.W. Smith is at liberty.
I don't care. Make more room in the tent.
What?
Make more room in the tent if they got E.W. Smith in jail. See, with E.W. Smith in jail and Homer McDancy in the hospital and Robert and Slobbert Hank mad at you, there'd be so much room in the tent.
I do not want to hear any further remarks about the amount of room in the tent.
Gov, an objection that just occurred to
save
me.
it.
Well, it's a pretty good objection.
I said save it. Here's your seat in the porch suite.
Where are you going?
Mike Niesupper's basement.
Put you indoor horseshoes?
Yeah.
It won't be long till supper. We're going to eat early.
Well, send Russell over after me.
I did have a good, solid, substantial objection, Mom.
What was it?
The paper stated the other night that the temperature in Dismal Seepage, Ohio rises to 115 degrees almost every day in August.
Oh.
And there's over 80 mosquitoes to the square foot of air.
Goodness.
I don't imagine Gov would want to camp out under those conditions.
No.
Heck, look at Gov walk along. His shoulders sag down, and he's got no pep. He looks dejected as a horse.
Well, just a few minutes ago, he was laughing and joking and strutting up the sidewalk and jolly as my shoe.
Stuff happens, don't it, Mom?
Yes, it does.
Stuff happens.
Which concludes another brief interlude at the small house halfway up in the next block.
A special rebroadcast for the American Armed Forces and their allies. You're invited to drop in where the elite meet to eat. Duffy's Tavern.
Hello, Duffy's Tavern, where the elite meet to eat. Archie the manager speaking. Duffy ain't here. Hello, Duffy. Tonight, Gracie Field. Yeah, the English Nightingale. Well, she sings them Cockney songs. Cockney, you know, it's an Englishman with a Brooklyn accent. Well, she was in that picture, Holy Matrimony. No, Duffy, she wasn't the bearded lady. That was Monty Woolley. Gracie was the singer. Yeah. Has she got a music? The biggest ass possessor of them all? Yeah, I imagine she's probably got it. She's now singing at the Waldorf Astoria. Yeah, and Duffy, I've been trying to figure it out. Why does the Waldorf make so much more money than we do? See? And I got the answer. They got a hotel on top of the joint. So I was thinking, you know that back room where we keep the pig's feet? Well, you see, that could be the bridal suite. And, hello? Hello? He hung up. Now, Eddie, we got to get the Duffy Chorio hotel ready for occupancy. Did you remove the pig's feet out of the back room? Yeah. How does the room look? To high heaven. You mean the room still...
Mr. Archie, now you might get away with calling this place the Duffy Archoria, but you'll never be able to call that room the Rose Room. By the way, there's another thing wrong with that bedroom.
What?
There ain't no bed in it.
I knew I forgot about something. A bed. Well, I'll tell you what. Get down to the cellar and get them 2 empty potato sacks down there. Go over to Brunchwager Chicken Market, Eddie, and tell Brunchwager to pluck us a mattress.
Suppose you want it out of Inner Spring Chicken.
Well, naturally.
And what a hotel.
What's wrong with this hotel?
This is the kind of hotel where when the tenants get rich, they move to a flop house. Ain't nobody gonna be dumb enough to sleep here.
What? Nobody gonna be dumb enough to sleep here, huh?
All right.
Finnegan, you look tired.
Yes, Josh, I am quite fatigued. You know, fatigue always makes me so tired. I slept a sleepless night last night.
You did, huh?
Yeah, I can't sleep when somebody snores.
Well, who was snoring?
I was.
You mean you snore so loud you keep yourself awake?
Well, it ain't so bad when I go... But when I go... I blow the cupboard door. You know, I am seriously thinking of moving to a hotel.
Well, welcome, Transit. Finnegan, how would you like to move into our back room?
The room with the pig's feet?
Well, we're taking him out, Finnegan.
No.
Well, why not?
I have been in that room. It wouldn't be so bad when I went... But how could I sleep if I ever went...
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we'd better put a window in that room, man.
Well, Archie, here I am.
Here who, miss?
Miss Duffy, the beautiful innkeeper's daughter.
Your old man ain't so beautiful.
You know what I mean.
Well, the way you should say it is Miss Duffy, the beautiful daughter of the innkeeper, which is grammatically correct, but physically impossible.
That's a good joke on Papa. I'll have to tell it to Mama.
What a brain.
Hi, Aunt. That's not old school. You dirty sporty. You dirty swindler.
I didn't think you'd have the nerve to come back here after swindling me with that oil stock last week. I thought at least you would have the decency to eschew this joint.
Art, it was just a prank. I swear by me warden.
But why did you have to do it to me?
Well, it was my first attempt at swindling, and I thought it would be more honest to swindle somebody who wouldn't press charges. Art, don't be sore. I am in trouble enough.
What's your trouble?
My landlady threw me out this morning. I've been going nuts all day trying to find me a room.
Is that so? Eddie, what do you think? Should I forgive him and rent him that room?
Yeah, it'll serve him right.
Crackpot, you see, we're turning our place into a hotel, and we can rent you one of our better rooms.
One of your better rooms, huh? Has it got a bed?
A bed? How long are you planning to stay?
Well, has it at least got running water?
Well, what would be the good of having running water? It ain't got no sink.
Well, how am I going to wash my face?
Wash it? That's not. This is a hotel room, not a beauty parlor.
Well, look, is there a towel?
For what do you want a towel if you can't wash?
What's the guy going to use to shine his shoes?
What everybody else uses, the bed sheet.
Okay, I'll take it. What's the number of me room?
What number would you like?
You mean I can have my choice of rooms?
No, but you can have your choice of numbers. Here's a piece of chalk. You can write it on the door yourself. 105, 205.
Do you mind if I make it 905? I like to sleep high up.
Oh. Well, take yourself. Front. Hey, Front, will you come in?
Yes?
Oh, Front, show this gentleman and his luggage to room 905.
905. Give me that there and go air it out.
Crackpot, don't shout. If you want something, ring for it. That's what the dishpan is for.
Okay. Hey,
what?
There's termites in me room.
Come here, termites. That guy was giving this hotel a bad name.
Hey, Art, look what just came in. The WSA failed.
Finnegan, that place is failed. Well, Miss Fields, welcome to the Duffy Arturia. How do you like our little new tavern?
It's very quaint. Reminds me of a little inn I used to know in Lancashire.
Oh, yeah? What was the name of it?
The sign of a greasy goat.
What a coincidence. We were going to put Duffy's picture outside. No.
This little Lancashire inn was a lot of fun, Archie. The guests used to spend most of the night throwing darts.
Spent the night throwing darts. What a dump. We set traps. Well, Gracie, Sidney Doon, would you care for a spot of off and off?
What?
Off and off.
Off what and off what? I think the man's an off-wit.
Eddie, I think the gentleman in 905 is ringing.
What room was that again?
905.
Don't I ask a serious question?
all the other room has buzzers.
And why don't you have a buzzer in 905?
Then how would we know it was 9:05? You see?
I'll see.
Oh, Gracie, I would like you to meet Miss Duffy, the hotel's daughter.
Oh, Miss Field, I thought you were wonderful in that picture with Mousey Whips. Thanks very much. How does it feel to kiss a man with a beard? I'm dying of curiosity.
Haven't you ever kissed a man with a beard?
No.
Have you ever kissed a man with a mustache?
No.
Have you ever kissed a man who needed a shave?
No.
No wonder you're dying of curiosity.
Yeah, but you haven't answered me. How did it feel to kiss Monty? Woolly.
Yeah, but why are you so interested in finding out how it feels to kiss a man with a beard?
Well, you see, Gracie, from the way things have been going with Miss Duffy lately, her last hope is Santa Claus. Look, Miss Duffy, this has been a very nice game of beaver, but I would like Miss Fields to render a song for the crowd here. What do you say, Gracie?
Okay, Hopkins.
Okay, well, I'll announce you.
Excuse me, Mr. Archie, but Mr. O'Toole, the gentleman at 905, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to pay a month's rent in advance. He gave me this $10 bill.
A $10 bill for a month's rent? What kind of a place does the guy think this is? Ain't got nothing smaller?
No, just a brand new $10 bill.
Okay, I'll give him change. Gee, this is a bright new 10, ain't it? Let's see now, a month's rent. Here's his change, $8. Okay, I'll announce your song, Gracie. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present Miss Gracie Fields, singing from the Sawdust Grove of the Duffy Astoria Hotel, located in the heart of Times Square, 23rd Street and 3rd Avenue. Take it, Maestro Van Steeden.
Each time I cling to your kiss, I hear music divine. This sun in the shore. Hold me, my darling, and say that you'll always be mine. This joy is something new, my arms enfolding you. Never knew this thrill before. Whoever thought I'd be holding you close to me would claim it's you I adore. Dearest one, if you should leave me, each little dream would take wing and my life would be
Gracie, why should a dame with a talent like yours sing in a dump like the Waldorf?
A dump? A dump? Why, what's the American expression that means nincompoop?
Dirt?
No.
Dope?
No.
Dumbbell?
No.
Look, pick one out and let's get on with the conversation. Now, what I think is that you ought to be singing here instead of that joint. You know, a joint like that Waldorf.
905, I presume.
Front. Hey, Front.
Oh, I'm getting tired. You're going to have to get another waiter or a second front.
Boy, that 905 makes more trouble than all our other guests together. Look, Gracie, leave us get down to business now.
Miss Archer, Mr. O'Toole in 905 wants to pay another month's rent in advance.
Another month, huh? Well, gee, ain't that cute? Crackpot, he's trying to make up for swindling me last week, I guess. Where's the dough, Eddie?
That is another nice, quick, new $10 bill.
All right, Eddie. Here's the change. Boy, this keeps the hotel crowded right up until June. Well, Gracie, leave us get down to business, as I said. What would we have to give you to get you to leave the Waldorf and come down here?
Chloroform.
Gracie, I'm serious. Look, here's what we're willing to do. I understand in England you made as high as 10 pounds a week, see? We're willing to double that. We'll pay you 20 shillings. Fair enough?
20 shillings, Archie. 20 bob is less than a guinea.
Would you mind playing that back again?
Well, listen here. 4 threepenny bits make a shilling. Also, 2 sixpences make a shilling. 8 half-crowns make a pound, and a shilling is also 1/20 of a pound. To double a penny, you'd have to take in about 20 quid.
Boy, a guy could go nuts over there in a crap game. But anyways, Gracie, what we're offering you is $10 a week. You know, what you English call a moon and sixpence. Wait a minute. I'll do better. I'll give you 50% of the gross profit of this hotel.
Back to the 20 shillings again.
Oh, yeah? Well, it's early yet. Wait until the rush starts.
What rush? You mean 905 is going to go out and come in again?
Look, where do you see the rush? We'll fix the rush. Excuse me. Hey, Finnegan, Benay, Danny, come here. I want to talk to you. We've got to make this hotel look like a busy...
Front? 905?
Right.
Well, I'm getting to know this hotel by heart.
Look, now, Gracie, you're going to see. Business is going to start picking up any minute.
Miss Archer?
Oh, you're back quick. What does Crackpot want now?
This time he would like 2 5s for a 10.
Not one of them brand new 10s? Look, I give him all my change. All I got left is $7.
He said to take whatever you got.
Well, if he wants to be a sucker. Okay. Now, look, Gracie, as I was saying, business should be picking up very soon. As I was saying, business should be picking up very soon.
Pardon me.
Good afternoon, sir. Duffy Artillery at your service. Of what service can we be to you of, sir?
My name is John Smith. And this charming young lady is my bridal suite.
Just married, I presume, eh, sir?
Newlywed. Anyway, dear.
Yes, and ooh, is Mommy's little lammy pie.
Yeah, and ooh, Poppy's big veal cutlet.
Where do these people get the point?
Look, Mr. Smith, what can we do for you and your veal cutlet here?
What's up,
Yeah. Now, Lammy Pie and I would like a sweet.
Mrs. Smith, I regret that at the moment we are filled up. I fear we will not have a room until 1947.
I don't think we can wait.
You see, Gracie, we're turning them away. Now, what do you say? We'll give you $10 a week plus percentage.
You're talking through your hat. You couldn't hire me anyway. I'd have to audition for Duffy. He's the boss of this place.
Oh, yeah? Duffy is merely the sole owner and proprietor. I'm the real figurehead. And I want you to know that what I say goes around here. Gracie, it looks like you'll have to audition. What do you say?
Okay, I guess there's only one way out for me. Sing the worst song I know.
The worst song you know? What's the worst song you know?
You know. I stand here at good old Duffy's, where the elite meet taste.
First, I'd buy my own Pritchard.
Me red corpuscles are racing. I await for you, my sweet. In me hand is a diamond and pearl. We should all reach out to the world. Leave us no longer pretend that you are merely a friend, for it is wrote in the stars above. Though we have tried to act cold, suddenly lo and get hold. Leave us face it, we're in love.
I'll always be in England, but this is the end of Leave Us Face It.
Leave us not blush with no shame. If people bandage our name, shoes and those rights are worth dreaming of.
Eddie, is that criticism or has she been eating here?
Stories like in our two eyes could win the Pulitzer Prize. Leave us face it, we're in love. In some other life, we was making.
She's not.
Now mine, not the thine, just the sign of the mine has been reincarcerated. So your feet. Don't leave me like incomplete. I'm like a turtle without a job.
She must have here.
Love life ain't meant to be.
Gracie, sound your H's.
Head, no, finish the bitch. Leave us face it.
That song really did you justice. Yep, you're hired. Now, here's your first week's salary in advance, Gracie. A nice, crisp, new $10 bill.
Thank you. Wait a minute. This $10 bill. Did Alexander Hamilton always look like this?
Let's see. Now, wait a minute. That ain't Alexander Hamilton. That's Crackpot O'Toole. The baby cook, he's been counting food and dough back there. And putting his own picture on it. He ain't only a cook, he's an egomaniac. That's Baby Cook. Oh.
Shall I see what the gentleman in 905 wants?
See what he wants. Daddy, go out and get Clancy to count.
But Crackpot wants room service.
Well, give it to him. 20 years of it.
Before we leave Duffy, leave us put a couple of nickels in Duffy's jukebox. The clock is spinning, the needle comes down. It's music. That to me is what your eyes are. Softly skies and April skies are. Tell me someday it will fill that promise with a thrill. Stars, flashing eyes in which my hopes lie. Let me show you where my heart lies. Let me through the little doors, that loveliness of yours. All my life I felt intensity,
I gaze at the skies now, I only want to melt the stardust in your eyes. Star-eyes, whenever will my lips know if it's me for whom knows I swore? Makes no difference where you are. Your eyes still hold my wishing star. Oh, star, how lovely you
This broadcast is a presentation of the Armed Forces Radio Service.
Teal for a beautiful smile. The Life of Riley for laughs. Teal, T-E-E-L, Teal, the amazing liquid dentifrice. That's it. T-E-E-L. Teal, the amazing liquid dentifrice, brings you The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. Remember, friends, for beautiful smiles, it's T-E-E-L, Teal. And right now, it's The Life of Riley. There are 30 million people in the United States who own autos. That means that there are 30 million people who can't imagine how Chester A. Riley is feeling right now as he stands on a street corner waiting for a bus to take him home from work. Waiting with him is his friend, Jim Gillis.
Here it comes. There it goes. How do you like that, Gillis? That's the third bus passed us right by. What do them drivers think we are, a stop sign? Relax, Riley. Let calmness be prevalent. We're human beings, ain't we? We got rights. I tell you, Gillis, this is against the Constitution. You don't know what you're talking about. What Constitution? Well, my Constitution. It's getting tired standing here. This has got to stop. Those buses have been passing people by now for 5 years.
Yeah, but you got to admit the service is improving. Now they just pass you by. They don't jump onto the curb and try and knock you down. Oh, here comes another one, Riley. Get your transfer ready.
Yeah, this one's slowing down.
Hey, look out, you're beating up!
Why, you're no good! And that goes for your whole company.
Listen, Riley, what are you getting so excited for? We're only a few blocks from home. Let's walk.
No, I got a transfer, and I'm going to use it.
Well, I'm walking.
Not me. That bus company owes me a ride. And I'm riding home tonight if I have to stand here until morning to do it.
Hey, you on the curb, wake up.
You
waiting for a bus?
That's my business. On your way to the bus. Wait, don't leave. I'm coming.
Step in. Speeding up. Watch your step. Have your fare ready. Move to the rear.
Which do you want me to do first?
Okay, wise guy. Watch the door.
Look, buddy, I've ridden on buses before. Would you mind opening the door? My foot's still out in the street.
I told you to watch out. Now put your fare in the box.
I got a transfer here.
This transfer's no good. Put a dime in the box.
No good? What do you mean, no good?
It's punch 6 o'clock. It's almost 8 now.
But I've been waiting on that corner for over an hour. 6 buses passed me by.
Deposit 10 cents in the box or get off the vehicle.
Now, look here, you. I ain't paying no fare and I ain't getting off this bus. I know my rights. And if I get off this bus, somebody a lot bigger than me will have to throw me off. He didn't look that big sitting down.
Riley, is that you? Where have you been? What happened?
What's the matter, Pop?
They can't do this to me. They won't get away with it. I'm a citizen. I owe as much taxes as the next guy.
Oh, Riley, calm down and tell us what happened.
Yeah, spill it, Pop.
I got thrown off a bus.
Oh, is that all?
Well, that's a fine answer. You'd think my own wife would show a little interest.
Of course I'm interested. Now, what really happened?
Well, this driver said my transfer was no good and he got rough.
Pop, you let a bus driver push you around?
Well, no. No bus driver's pushing your old man around. All he did was grab me by the seat of my pants, throw me down the steps and halfway into a sewer. Lucky for him, he didn't go too far.
All right, Riley, now sit down. Supper's ready.
I can't eat now. If I eat in the state I'm in, I'll get acute indigestion.
But, dear, we've got a steak.
Okay, so I'll suffer. And so will that bus company suffer. I'm going
Riley, stop taking this so serious.
Well, believe me, it is serious. When a citizen of the United States don't dare get on a bus without a personal bodyguard.
You know what, Pop? You ought to take this up with the CIA.
CIA? What's that?
The Community Improvement Association. I saw something about it in the paper. Oh, yeah, here it is. Listen. The second meeting of the newly formed Community Improvement Association will be held tonight at the high school auditorium. J. Cheever Bennett, well-known local attorney, will preside. All citizens are urged to attend and air their complaints.
That's for me. I'm going there. My complaint needs a little airing.
Oh, Riley, why make such a fuss?
I ain't throwing out my hard-earned money on transfers they refuse.
But a transfer's only a few cents.
With me, it ain't the money. It's the principal and the money.
Hey, Riley, what are you doing around here?
Oh, hello, Gillis. I'm going to CIA meeting.
So am I.
I'm going to complain about the bus. What are you complaining about?
Nothing, just going for pleasure. I'm so sick of my wife's complaints, it'll be a relief to hear somebody else shoot their mouth off. You know, like the French say, a busboy's holiday.
Hey, we better go in. I think they started already.
Oh, yeah.
And when I organized this association, I did so with one paramount purpose in mind. Community improvement through community action.
That's J. Cheever Bennett, the lawyer. Brilliant. Undergraduate from William and Mary.
You don't say. 2 colleges.
And so I say it is not only your civic right, but your civic duty to fight injustice wherever it rears its ugly head.
Gillis, I can't see. Please move your ugly head. Well,
thank you. And so it is up to you, the citizens of this community. Let us hear your complaints and we will act. The floor is now open.
Go on, Riley. Now's your chance.
Well, I've been thinking it over. I changed my mind.
Come, we're here to share each other's problems.
My friend here, Riley, has a complaint he wants to bring before this august body.
Mr. Riley has the floor.
Well, this evening I was standing on the corner waiting for a bus. There I was, a decent, lovable, and there I was, laying in the gutter with a transfer in my hand. And I say to you, is that a way to treat the gutters of our fair city? I thank you.
I am sure that Mr. Riley's shameful experience has aroused the righteous indignation in each and every one of us.
Oh, it was awful.
My friends, something must be done, and done immediately.
Sooner than immediately.
We must fight this in the courts, a test case. We must sue.
Hey, wait, just a minute. Wait.
The bus company must realize that it cannot trample roughshod on the rights of the people.
Come on.
Mr. Riley, if you put that in the form of a motion.
But I don't want to sue.
You're out of order. Do I hear a motion?
But
I so move. Thank you, Mr. Gillis. Will someone second it?
I also second it.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Me.
The motion is carried. Mr. Riley, we understand your natural trepidation in getting involved in a court case. You are worried about expenses, lawyers' fees. But let me assure you, sir, that this organization will stand behind you with every cent in its treasury. And now I would like to pass the hat around for a defense fund. We'll start with you, Mr. Riley.
Track.
Oh, honest, Riley. Anybody who'd get mixed up in a lawsuit with a big bus company
It's all
is just...
settled. My head's made up.
It's not settled. I want you to drop the whole thing. What have you got to gain? You're only suing for 51 cents.
It's not the money. I'm just doing my duty as a citizen. This is a test case, an experiment. Someday you'll be proud that you're married to a guinea pig.
Ah, gee, Pop, I guess you're a pretty important guy.
Son, when you put it that way, how can I argue with you?
I don't like this, Riley.
Peg, will you please stop worrying? I'm a cinch to win this case. Guess who's going to be here in a little while with my lawyer? The bus company's lawyer, Andrew Crow.
Andrew Crow?
Yeah.
Why, he's the famous criminal lawyer.
They're scared. They know they're dealing with me, so they got a criminal lawyer.
Pop, what's he coming here for?
He wants to compromise me. You know, settle out of court.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But I ain't gonna. I'm gonna lick him in court. The whole town's counting on me.
But, Riley,
oh,
don't you...
that's them. Now, Peg, let me do the talking.
Well, Riley, my esteemed client.
Hello, Mr. Bennett. Come in.
Riley, this is Mr. Crow, who represents the bus company.
Oh. Well, you can't always be on the winning side, huh, Mr. Crow?
Not always. The fact is, Mr. Riley, my client is willing to effect a compromise, but Mr. Bennett here refuses.
Oh, absolutely. We demand vindication in court. On that score, my client and I are of one mind.
That's right. We got only one mind between us.
But, Mr. Riley, my company is willing to tender a formal apology.
Riley, if they're willing to apologize...
Oh, Mr. Crow, they're willing to apologize, huh?
Yes.
Will the president of the company get down on his knees in the bus terminal?
Well, hardly.
Then nothing doing. We'll settle this in court tomorrow.
Very well. Oh, yes. And by the way, Mr. Riley, I hope you realize that if you insist on going to trial, we shall be forced to institute a countersuit against you on behalf of the bus driver for assault and battery with intent to kill. The maximum penalty is 5 years. Good day.
Wait, Mr. Crow. Let's talk this over.
Good day, Mr. Riley.
No, wait, please, Mr. Crow. Here, sit down. Have a cigar. Peg, get him a Coke. Junior, shine his shoes.
You've changed your mind, Mr. Riley?
No, just a moment, Crow. My client is a man of principle, and for that principle he's willing to risk 10 years in jail.
Now, wait, Bennett. He only said 5.
5 years is a long time, Mr. Riley.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Riley, tell Mr. Crow you'll compromise.
Yeah. Listen, Mr. Crow, I'm willing to settle. I got nothing against the bus company. I love that bus company. I'd rather sniff their carbon monoxide than the best perfume. Let's settle, huh?
Well, now you're being sensible.
Oh, just a moment, Crow. You can't come in here and use your vicious blackmailing tricks.
Blackmail? You accuse me, Andrew Crow, of blackmail? Why, you unmitigated scoundrel.
Please, Mr.
I
Crow.
will have you disbarred for this.
Please, Mr.
There, you threaten me with disbarment.
Listen to me. I want to settle.
Settle? It's out of the question. You want to fight, you'll get one.
No, you can't scare us, Crow. I'm ready to fight this case right up to the Supreme Court. If it takes every cent that Riley has.
Bennett, please stay off my side.
Listen, Mr. Crow.
There's nothing more to be said. Good day.
Oh,
don't worry, Riley. We've got him on the run.
Yeah, he's on the run, all right. But he's chasing me.
Well, Riley had a run-in with a bus driver and got thrown off the bus. He complained at a community meeting, and now he finds he's the plaintiff in a lawsuit against the bus company. The trial has been going on all morning, and as we look in on the courtroom now, Riley's friend Gillis is on the stand as a character witness.
Order in the court. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Gillis.
Yeah, Judge.
Well, like I was saying, I've always known Riley to be a man of the highest character, honesty, integrity, and indecency.
Thank you, Mr. Gillis. That is all.
Oh, good old Gillis. He sure come through for me, Peg.
How'd I do, pal?
Great, Gillis. I appreciate what you've done. And someday I'll commit perjury for you, too.
Mr. Riley, take the stand.
I'm coming, Judge.
Order in the court! One more outburst and I will clear the courtroom. Miss Crow, proceed with the cross-examination.
Mr. Riley, you're suing my client, the bus company, for the sum of 51 cents. What is the 1 cent for?
That's for the fare that I was chiseled out of.
But isn't the fare 10 cents?
Well, sure, but the transfer part is exactly 1 cent's worth.
And how do you know it's exactly 1 cent's worth?
Well, the whole trip is 10 cents. You go 9 miles on the first bus and 1 mile on the transfer bus. 10 miles, 10 cents. That's 1 cent a mile. I got gypped out of 1 mile, so you owe me 1 cent.
How do you know the transfer bus goes exactly 1 mile?
I took a taxi and I measured it.
And now tell us, please, what is the 50 cents for?
I waited an hour for the bus, and it took me another hour to walk home. My time is valuable. It's worth at least 25 cents an hour.
Mr. Riley, do you actually expect the jury to believe that a healthy man like you took an hour to walk a mere mile? Are you sure you took the shortest way home?
Sure, I'm sure. I went past Mike's barber shop.
You can prove that?
Well, sure. Ask the boys who were in the back. They were having a crap game, and he asked me to watch out for the cops.
I see. Then you did not go directly home.
Well, I made up for lost time. I took a shortcut across Lafayette Park.
Frankly, I don't believe you, Mr. Riley.
I can prove I went through that park. Ask my wife. That night I brought her home 3 dozen roses I picked from the flower beds.
I believe you. Now, the park is only 1 block from your house, and you had, let's say, about 30 minutes left. 30 minutes to walk 1 block?
Well, I needed a rest. I stood on the corner in front of a billboard. It had a picture of Lana Turner on it in a bathing suit.
You looked at it for 30 minutes?
Well, I...
Remember, you're under oath.
Lana Turner now has a mustache.
That will be all, Mr. Riley. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you going to believe the testimony of an honest, hard-working bus driver, or a man who, by his own admission, acts as a lookout for illegal gambling dens, steals flowers from parks maintained by your taxes, who wantonly defaces private property and insults the glory of womanhood?
What a revolting development this is.
The defense rests.
Court is recessed 1 hour for lunch. When we reconvene, I shall charge the jury.
Oh, Peg, they got me. They'll send me to jail, sure.
Now, don't worry, dear. Everything will be all right.
My brain hurts. I'm going to take my head for a walk around the block. Oh, I'm a goner.
Let me be the judge of that.
Oh, it's you, Digger.
Greetings, Riley. You're looking fine. Very natural.
Digger, were you in court? Did you hear the evidence?
Yes, but don't despair, Riley. Keep fighting. In my profession, we have a saying. Never give up, though things look black. Till the case is closed, a man can bounce back.
Gee, Digger, I never thought this would wind up in a courtroom.
Ah, courtroom. The learned judge quietly snoring at the taxpayer's expense. The opposing attorneys with their thumbs on the scale of justice. The pretty young murderess lifting her skirt to show her dainty limbs to the jury. I adore being on juries. It's so gay.
That bus company. I'm through with buses. From now on, I'm walking. So help me, I'll never ride anywhere again.
Oh, yes, you will, believe me. Oh, Riley, look, isn't that the judge over there?
Yeah, that's him. In that car over there.
He can't get it started.
Oh, that's okay with me. Look at that classy car. I bet he never rode on a bus in his life. No wonder he's prejuiced.
Riley, why don't you help him start his car? He'll appreciate it. It may influence his decision.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So long, Digger.
Cheerio. I'd better be doubling off.
Pardon me, Judge.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Riley.
You having a little trouble with your car?
Yes, it never happened before.
Well, let me take a look under the hood.
It isn't necessary. I can...
Now, just leave it to me, Judge. I know cars. I got a mechanical head. Now, let's see. Try it now, Judge. Try it now.
I am. Now it's completely dead. This is most annoying. I'm expected downtown, and I've got to be back before court reconvenes.
Your Honor, why don't you take the bus?
Bus?
Stops right here.
A bus? Yes, I could do that.
Listen, Judge, about my case.
Now, Mr. Riley, it's unethical for me to discuss it with you.
But I'm willing to drop the whole matter.
I'm afraid it's a little too late for that.
But, Your Honor...
Mr. Riley, this world would be a much better place if we all practiced a little more tolerance. Instead of rushing into court on the least provocation for purposes of revenge, we should be tolerant. The bus. See you in court, Mr. Riley.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll ride along with you.
Oh, no, I'd rather you...
Come on, get on the bus. They ain't good all day. Lift it, Grandpa, lift it.
He means you, Judge.
He does? Sir, are you...
No conversation. Put your fare in the box.
See here, driver.
The fare, Judge.
The fare? Oh, yes. All I have is a dollar bill. Would you change it, please?
Change? You think I got nothing better to do than make change all day? What do you think this is, the bank?
Now, look here, my man. You keep a civil tongue in your head.
Judgy, you gotta be tolerant.
And let me inform you, driver.
Shaking that finger in my face, you zombie.
I'll shake my finger as much as I want.
Oh, my eye. Okay, you asked for it. How do you like this?
Why, he slapped me.
Judge, turn the other cheek. He got that one, too.
How dare you lay a hand on me? I'll have you.
That's enough out of you. Come on, get off or I'll throw you off.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to see you throw the judge off.
Why, he threw us off.
Yeah, Judge. Now, about my case.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have heard the testimony in this case, and I now recommend that you bring in a verdict in favor of the plaintiff, Jester A. Riley. Of course, you are perfectly free to bring in a verdict in favor of the bus company, in which case I'll hold you all in contempt of court.
Peg, we won. I told you we'd win.
Oh, I'm so glad it's over. Lucky for us that judge had to take the bus. And what a lucky break that his car wouldn't start.
Yeah, that was a lucky break. Oh, gee, I almost forgot.
Riley, where are you going?
To the judge's car. I gotta put back those spark plugs.
Procter & Gamble, makers of Peel, the amazing liquid dentifrice, invites to be their guests next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. The Life of Riley is produced for Peel by Irving Becker and is directed by Don Bernard. Music by Lou Kozloff.
I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Snake Hogan is seeing to it that the romance between his sister Gussie and Lum progresses steadily, if not very ardently. And Abner's efforts to extricate Lum from this unhappy alliance only serve to get him into it deeper. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their combined jot-em-down store, bakery, and library. Lum is on the telephone. Listen.
Yeah, well, I'll try to make it if I can. I got a heap of work to do here at the store. Yeah, it may keep me tied up all evening, Snake. You what? Oh, well, in that case, I reckon I can make it all right. Yeah, I'll be there, Snake. All right. Goodbye.
Are you going over to the Hoganses again tonight, Lum?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Doggies, you been over there for 3 nights hand running now.
I know, but Snake said it'd be a good idea for me to be over there this evening.
Well, you don't have to do everything that Snake Hogan says, do you?
No, I don't have to, but I don't know. When he gets that certain tone to his voice and says his sister Gussie is expecting me, it sounds just like he's talking out of the barrel of that gun he's always polishing.
Is he still polishing on that thing?
Yeah, every night he sits there in the rocker polishing the gun, telling the same jokes over and over.
Well...
And Gussie sits on the lounge and blushes and giggles the same way.
Yeah.
And then Ms. Hogan gets the stereoscope and shows me the same pictures.
Well...
Granny's, I saw that picture of Niagara Falls 4 dozen times.
Yeah, more likely she keeps showing you that, sort of hinting that you take Gussie there on a honeymoon.
I wouldn't take Gussie to a dog's fight.
Yeah, that's what they're doing it for, I bound you.
And I've seen them views of the Columbia Exposition in Chicago in 1900 or whenever it was, a jillion times.
Oh, they got them too?
Oh, my, yeah.
Well...
And I saw one picture there of a bear at the New York Zoo so many times he's beginning to seem like a member of my own family.
A member of your own family?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Lum, that couldn't have been a bear then.
Well, it is too a bear. I ought to know. I saw the picture enough times.
Yeah, but you couldn't have no bear for a relay, Lum. You must not have looked good at that picture.
Well, Abner, I never meant that he was...
Maybe it's just some fella wearing one of them big fur coats, you know, one of them great big ones that covered the fella all up. That's more likely what it was.
Abner, it wasn't no fella...
Hi, doggies, I bound you. That was that uncle of yours up there in Wisconsin, Uncle Zerny.
Uncle Zerny? Oh, I know him anywhere.
Well, don't you recollect? He sent you a picture of himself once, and he was wearing a big, heavy fur coat. And then he ripped you how they had to wear coats like that on account of how cold it gets up there.
Yeah, I recollect that, Abner, but this is a picture...
doggies, old Uncle Zerny. Well, I ain't thought about him for I don't know when. Reckon how Miss Hogan got a picture of him. Is her and him old friends?
I don't know. I hope not.
Well, they live awful far apart to be, I know that. Or maybe she met him when he taken that trip.
Trip? What trip?
Why, when he went from Wisconsin to New York. Didn't you say that picture showed him at the New York Zoo?
For goodness sakes, Abner, can't you understand that there was a picture of a bear at the zoo?
Well, natural, there's bears at the zoo, Lum. There's all kinds of animals there. See, Lum, a zoo, that's a place where they keep animals and rhinoceroses and camels.
I know what a zoo is.
Yeah, well, that's more likely what Uncle Zerny went to New York for, just to see the animals. He always loved them, I know.
Far as I know, Uncle Zerny never went to New York.
Well, if he never went there, how could he get his picture taken there?
That wasn't him. It was a picture of a bear.
A bear went to New York? Oh, Lum. No bear could find his way from Wisconsin clean to New York. They don't know how to ride on trains and stuff.
Well, for goodness sakes, Abner, there's no use of me trying to explain anything to you.
How far did the bear have to travel to get there, Lum?
Just forget about it, Abner. I've got enough trouble with that having to explain things to you all the time.
Well, I still think you made a mistake now. You better look at that picture closer when you go over to the Hoganses tonight.
I ain't going over there.
You ain't?
Well, I mean, I wish I wasn't.
Oh.
Granny Abner, I got to get out of this thing some way or other. I don't think I can stand sitting in that parlor looking at Gussie one more evening. I wish lightning would strike me, or something.
Lightning? Oh, don't say that, Lum. That's liable to actually happen to you.
Well, compared to what I go through every night, it'd be a pleasure.
Yeah, but don't say that now, Lum. I know the feller over south of Cherry Hill. Well, I heard about him anyway. And he said if he weren't telling the truth about whatever he's talking about, that the lightning ought to come down and strike him. And I doggies, it weren't 5 minutes later that the lightning done it.
Pish posh.
It's the truth, according to the almanac. Well, it's the truth anyway.
Well, it couldn't happen today. It ain't even raining.
Yeah, but they can have them electrical storms. Don't need no rain. I recollect one time
wait a minute.
clear
Look who's coming. There's that ferocious feller, Mousey Gray.
Oh, yeah.
Reckon what in the world that feller wants?
I don't know, no telling.
He's got something on his chest.
Yeah, keeps coming in here and saying he's mad at you, but he don't never tell you why.
Can't recollect nothing I ever done to him.
No.
Fact is, I hardly ever seen him. He sleeps all day and night watches over at the mill all night.
Yeah.
And if he don't tell me what he's mad about today, I'm going to pick him up and just shake it out of him.
Oh, well, now, Lum, now, you can't pick on a little frail feller like him now.
Oh, I reckon I ought to do, but just the same, it gets on my...
Find out. Here he comes.
Yeah, hello there, Mousey.
Howdy, Lum. Abner?
Come on in, Mousey. Are you still mad at me today?
Yes, sir. I believe I'm madder than... Well, I guess I'm the maddest that I've ever been.
Well, just try and control yourself, Mousey. Don't let that temper of yours get out of control. Now, exactly what is you're mad about, Mousey?
Well, it's about... Well, could I see you alone, Lum?
Alone?
Yes, sir.
I reckon so. Abner, step out in the feed room there and close the door.
Oh, I ain't going to listen to nothing, Lum.
Go on, Mousey wants to see me alone. Go on now, hurry up.
Dad, blame it, just when something gets interesting.
Hurry up, be sure you close the door good and tight.
I will. Dad, blame it all.
All right now, Mousey, what's this all about?
Well, it's about her, Lum.
Her?
Yes, sir. And I'm going to fight for her. Honest I am. Honest and true.
Well, who in the world are you talking about, her?
Why, Gussie, of course. She's my dream girl.
Gussie, your dream girl?
Yes.
Well, I'll swan to goodness. Granny's, Mousey, I never heard Gussie mention nothing about you and her.
Oh, she doesn't know it yet. See, I never have even met her, but, well, she's my secret love.
Well, I do know.
You gave her a locket with in a loaf of bread, Lum, and, well, I'm just awful mad about it.
Well, now, wait, Mousey. That was just a mistake. I meant to give that locket to Miss Fredericks.
Excuses won't save you now, Lum. I've worked myself up into too much of a rage to stop now. Well, shall we start the fight?
Mousey, fight? Well, I think maybe you better go back over to the mill and think this over a little longer. No telling what a dangerous feller like you's liable to do.
No, sir. I can't go back without beating you up, Lum. The fellows wouldn't like it at all.
The fellers? You mean the fellers at the mill?
Yes, sir. See, I failed several times, and they said if I came back again without having whipped you, I'd be a disgrace to the mill.
Oh, I see. That was sort of their idea, huh?
Well, I helped some with it. Shall we start the fight now?
Well, I reckon so, if it's going to help your standing at the mill.
Well, let's see now. Just how do we go about this? I never have had a fight before.
Well, I reckon the first thing to do is take off our coats.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd rather leave mine on. I take cold awful easy, Lum.
You do, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, I reckon we can leave them on then. Well, all right now. Put your fists up in front of you.
My fist?
Now, double them up hard. That's it.
I hate to do this, Lum. I've always admired you so much.
I know, but you've got to do it for the fellers at the mill.
Yes, sir. And for Gussie.
Yeah, and for Gussie.
She's my dream girl.
Mm-hmm. I've had a few dreams about her myself. Well, come on. Better start hitting.
You don't think I'm too mad to fight, do you, Lum?
Oh, I think you can control yourself. Hurry up. I can't wait all day to get beat up.
Well, let's see now. Where do you think that I should hit you first?
Oh, I don't know. On the jaw, I reckon. That's a good starter.
The jaw?
Yeah.
Like this?
Oh.
Hey, what's that? I heard something fall. What? Hey, Lum. Where's Lum?
Oh, he's on the floor there.
The floor? I noticed he never ought to have said it. Come on, get some dirt. We got to throw some dirt on him.
Dirt? What for?
Why, you idiot, can't you see he's been struck by lightning?
have a cup of Maxwell House coffee, George?
Sure. Pour me a cup, Gracie.
You know, Maxwell House is always good to the last drop.
And that drop's good, too.
Yes, it's Maxwell House Coffee Time, starring George Burns and Gracie Allen. With yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the music of Meredith Wilson and his orchestra, Margaret Brayton, Lou Merrill, and our happy postman. For your Thursday night comedy enjoyment, it's George and Gracie. And for your everyday coffee drinking enjoyment, it's Maxwell House, the coffee that gives you so much more for so little more that it's bought and enjoyed by more people than any other brand of coffee in the world. Yes, Maxwell House, expertly blended and radiant roasted for rich, mellow, extra flavor. Maxwell House, the coffee that's always good to the last drop. Well, as we look in at the Burns home today, we find George engrossed in the morning newspaper.
Why don't you read the paper out loud, George, so I can discuss world affairs and current events with you?
You discuss world affairs?
Yes.
Gracie, there's only one thing in this paper that would interest you. They've got a hat sale at the May Company.
Well, for your information, Mr. Smarty, I would much rather sit here and discuss Russia or the political situation than go to that hat sale.
You mean that?
Well, certainly. All the best hats were grabbed when the store opened this morning.
I'll bet they were dillies.
Would you like to see them?
You've already been to the hat sale?
Well, don't forget the early bird gets the worm.
That sounds like a hat you'd pick out, all right.
Oh, now, come on, George. Let's sharpen our wits with a good old rough and tumble discussion of the news. Read some headlines.
No, thanks.
Oh, darling, forget that I'm your wife and think of me only as a great newspaper columnist. If you were married to Walter Winchell, what would you discuss with him?
A divorce.
Oh, George. Now, come on. Shoot some international problems at me and watch me knock them off.
All right, brain thruster. You asked for it. Here's one. It looks like Russia wants a piece of turkey. What should be done about it?
Let them wait till Thanksgiving like everyone else. Second question.
How can automobile manufacturers speed up production?
Make more automobiles. Third question.
Will Truman run in 1948?
If people don't stop hounding him, he may start running before then.
Fourth question. To stop inflation, how can husbands keep their wives from buying so many new clothes?
Fifth question.
I like the fourth question.
Maybe you better give me the paper, huh?
I thought so.
Oh, here's the Hollywood news. My goodness. There were 10 couples married in Hollywood yesterday.
Good.
Yeah, but 10 couples are getting divorced today.
Same number.
Same couple.
I see.
Oh, here's an interesting item. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer is going to make a picture out of that best-selling book, The Hucksters. And they're trying to get Clark Gable for the lead.
Sounds great.
But that book is all about radio. Why pick Gable?
Because he's handsome, talented, and loaded with sex appeal. That's why.
But I know a man who has the same qualifications plus 15 years' experience in radio.
You mean...
His initials are GB, and I don't mean Jack Benny.
You mean me?
Exactly. Well, you'd be perfect as the lead in The Hucksters. Well, now, let's look at your qualifications. You know all about radio. Check?
Check.
You're a fine actor. Check?
Check.
You're good-looking. Check?
Check.
You love to give your wife money. Check?
Check. Wait a minute. What's that got to do with it?
Oh, nothing, but I thought as long as I had you rolling, I'd throw it in.
Forget this silly idea, Gracie. They'll never consider me if they can get Gable.
Oh, they will, too. Come in.
Good morning, all.
Oh, good morning, Meredith. Meredith, you're the first to hear the news. George is going to be a movie star.
Oh, Gracie.
He is?
Yes, he's got to replace Gable.
Golly, do you think he's the right shape?
Well, sure, he's built like Clark Gable.
Oh, Gable. I thought you said Grable.
Believe me, that makes just as much sense. Gracie has a wild idea that I should be the leading man of the Hucksters, but I want no part of it.
Well, gosh, George, if I had a chance to be a movie star, I'd jump at it. My girl Goldie'd be awfully impressed.
You've got a girl, Meredith?
Yeah. She's a waitress at Joe's Swordfish House. Formerly Joe's Steak House.
Well, Meredith, have you told her you love her?
Oh, I haven't gotten up the nerve to speak to her yet, but it's wonderful just to sit there and thrill to the touch of her hand.
The touch of her hand? How do you manage that?
I pour soup on my shirt and she wipes me off.
Meredith, that's no way to start a romance. Look, kid, I'm going to buy a book called How to Make Love.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea, George. And after you've read it, lend it to Meredith.
I'll do that.
I'll answer it. Meredith, you talk to George and try to convince him that he should replace Gable.
Very well, Gracie. Now, George, if I were you...
Good morning, Mrs. Burns. Here's your mail.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Postman. Say, I want to see if you agree with me on something.
What is it, Mrs. Burns?
Well, I read that Clark Gable was going to play the lead in the Hucksters. But I know another man who'd be much better. He's the Gable type, only handsomer and more virile. You know who I mean.
Oh, sure. But if I quit this job, I'll lose my pension.
Oh, no, I didn't mean you, Mr. Postman.
But you gave a perfect description of me, and I can just hear the slogan ringing forth now. The postman's back and Garson's got him.
But your wife, Bertha, is awfully jealous.
Yes, you're right. She changed that slogan to Garson's dead and Bertha did it.
Well, there's nothing for you to worry about, Mr. Postman, because the man I have in mind to replace Clark Gable is my husband, George Burns.
Your husband?
Yes.
Well, goodbye, Mrs. Burns. Remember, keep smiling.
Ah, good old Indian summer. Meredith, you know, Victor Herbert really had something there.
Yes, he did, Bill. It's a great melody, Indian summer, and a great time of year, too. Won't be long now. Just when folks have hauled out the heavy blankets and settled down for some real wintry weather, why, along it'll come. Mild and sunny and welcome as a day in June.
And just as pleasant, Meredith. There'll be a smoky haze in the autumn air to blend with the bright, cheerful colors of the turning leaves. And we'll marvel once again at the unique beauty that Indian summer brings to the American scene. You know, in its own way, Maxwell House, too, is a very real part of the American scene, now and the whole year through. For just as coffee is America's favorite drink, so Maxwell House is the country's favorite coffee. Bought and enjoyed by more people than any other brand of coffee at any price, it's Maxwell House wherever you go. Flavor tells this popularity story, of course. The rich, vigorous Maxwell House flavor that results from the skillful blending of these premium Highland-grown Latin American coffees. Manizales for mellowness. Medellins for richness. Other choice coffees for vigor. And Bucaramangas for full body. All of which adds up to great coffee at its flavor peak. So, friends, why not know the very best in coffee pleasure, coffee goodness? It's yours for just a fraction of a penny more per cup than you'd pay for the cheapest coffee sold. Simply say, Maxwell House. Always good to the last drop.
I can see the headlines now. George Burns replaces Clark Gable as star of the Hucksters. I think I'll call the Weller party.
Just a minute, Gracie. I'm not going to replace Gable. Now forget it.
But, darling, the part is made for you. It's all about radio, and you're Mr. Radio.
Me?
Oh, yes. Before you came along, radio was a toy, a plaything. People laughed at it. But believe me, when you came on the radio, they stopped laughing.
Yeah.
And not only were you a pioneer, but you're still the number one man. Why, the president of NBC told me that television would collapse without you.
He said television would collapse without me?
Yes, sir. He said, Mrs. Burns, your husband, practically single-handed, is holding up television.
I wonder how he meant that.
No, he meant that you're great, the greatest man in the history of radio.
Oh, honey, don't say that. What would we do if it hadn't been for the inventor, Marconi?
We'd eat spaghetti. Besides, what's that got to do with radio?
Nothing. I lost my head. Now, look, Gracie, granted I know the radio business backward and forward. But that doesn't mean I can replace Clark Gable. Why, Gable is a foot taller than I am and twice as handsome.
On the screen, yes. But that's all trick photography and stuff. Take off Gable's built-up shoes, and he probably stands 4'10".
Gracie.
The terrific figures you see on those screen heroes are not theirs. Why do you think they have to get to the studio so early in the morning? To be made up? No, to be laced up.
Look.
At least you wouldn't have to do that, George.
Well, no.
I could lace you up at home like I always do.
Gracie, you've got an exaggerated idea of how much they change movie stars' looks.
No, I haven't. They stick putty noses on them, false eyelashes, toupee.
Honey, relax. Believe me, Clark Gable looks just the same in person as he does on the screen.
Oh, George, how little you know of Hollywood. Well, with a little makeup, they can make a person look years younger. How old would you say I looked in my last picture?
About 25.
Now, you see, they can make you look older, too.
Honey, if Gable wasn't tall and handsome, he couldn't take out all those beautiful actresses. I don't think they use any tricks on him.
They use tricks on all of them. Look at Johnny Weissmuller in those Tarzan pictures.
Now, don't try to tell me that he wears built-up shoes. He goes barefooted.
Oh, sure. Well, they've got another trick to make him look big. You know those lines he's always grappling with?
Yeah?
Those aren't lines. Those are Cocker Spaniels made up.
Gracie.
Oh, I don't say it's only men they use tricks on. Take Betty Grable. Her legs look pretty nice on the screen, huh?
And how?
Well, trick photography. From the waist up, it's Grable. From there down, it's Errol Flynn.
Forget it. And forget all this stuff about Gable being short and chubby. Believe me, in person, Gable is tall, handsome, and terrific. And now I'm going to the cigar store. See you later.
I won't forget it. I'm going to call Clark Gable and talk to him about this. Where's that phone book? Oh, here. Gable. Ah, here we are. Gable Arthur, Gable Betty, Gable C. That must be Clark. When I tell him about George, I'll bet he'll be glad to step aside. Hello?
Hello. Is Mr. Gable there?
Yeah, just a minute. I'll call him.
Oh, on second thought, I'm kind of curious to see Mr. Gable in person.
Okay, come on over. He's right here.
Oh, all right. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Hey, Charlie, some woman is coming over to see you.
Yeah, probably a dame who left something in the back of my taxi cab. You ain't jealous, are you, baby?
Jealous of you with that puss of yours? You could put Lena the hyena in your taxi cab, and she wouldn't give you a tumble.
Oh, yeah? Listen, I haul them movie dames around in my cab, and then I have to come home and look at your kisser.
Well, you broken
shut up.
Don't you tell me to shut up, Charlie.
Shut up.
You sort of hunk of luck.
Yeah,
Hello, is Mr. Gable here?
I'm Gable.
You?
Sure.
I knew it. I knew it. They can work miracles.
Huh?
How tall are you, Mr. Gable?
5'3", what?
Imagine wearing heels a foot high. How much do you weigh?
310 pounds, but
Oh, you poor man. How those laces must hurt.
Look, lady,
And your face. I wouldn't have believed Putty could do it.
Lady, would you mind telling me what you're talking about?
Well, frankly, Mr. Gable, you're not quite what I expected. Do you really take those Hollywood actresses around?
Oh, plenty of them. I took Lana Turner to the truck last week, and just last night I took Lauren Bacall to the Macumba.
My goodness.
Then I drove her home, and she slipped me $5.
She paid you?
They all do. I ain't hauling them around for nothing.
But Lauren Bacall is married to Humphrey Bogart.
So what? He came along, too.
How modern.
Hey, look, what you come to see me about, lady?
Well, it's about my husband, George Burns.
Oh, you want me to take him someplace?
Oh, no, you wouldn't enjoy it. He's a terrible dancer.
I don't get it.
No, but all I want you to do, Mr. Gable, is to say that my husband can play the lead in The Hucksters.
So let him play it. What's it to me?
Well, can I tell him you said that?
Well, sure, but I don't see what...
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gable. Thank you a million times. You'll never regret your generosity. Goodbye.
What a dame. If this wasn't Hollywood, I'd say she was nuts.
And now Meredith Wilson and his chiffon music. Gershwin's Liza.
George, I've got the most wonderful news.
What now?
Well, I've seen Clark Gable in person, and he's an absolute mess. You look just as good as he does.
Gracie.
And what's more, he said he'd be glad to step aside and let you play the lead in The Hucksters.
Will you stop making up those fantastic fibs?
Fibs? George Burns, how dare you say such a thing? Have I ever told you a fib?
How about the one you told to get that new dress? Or how about the one you told about the dent in the fender? Or the one you told about...
Oh, stop beating around the bush. Just say yes or no.
Yes.
But now I'm telling you the honest truth. I just spoke to Clark Gable.
Gracie, I've heard enough. I know it's not the truth. But even if it was, I'd never replace Gable. I couldn't equal that guy's personality in a million years.
George...
Forget it. I'm going into the den.
Oh, that stubborn little genius. He's got Gable's looks. Now he thinks he doesn't have his personality. Let's see now, what is Gable's personality? Well, he's masterful. So strong and masculine that women are scared of him. Well, I'll have to convince George that he can frighten women.
Hi, Gracie.
Oh, hello, Bill. You're just in time to give me some advice.
Yeah?
How can I convince George that he's frightening?
Hold a mirror up in front of him.
Oh, no, Bill. I'm serious.
Got it.
I'm trying to build up his confidence so he'll agree to replace Clark Gable in the Hucksters.
George replace Gable?
Well, yes. Don't you think he's got something Gable hasn't got?
Well, yeah, and if Gable had it, he'd shoot himself.
I really think George would be magnificent in that picture. When people see him, they'll love him as much as I do. I want to share my little huckster with everyone.
Tell me something, Gracie. Why do you love that little schnook so much?
Why do I love George Bird?
Yeah.
Why, just look at his... And how about the way he... Oh, the many times that he... And don't forget his... And you ask me why I love George Bird.
You know, for a minute, I didn't think you'd have a reason.
Oh, Bill, come on and help me. Go in the den and convince George that he's the caveman type, strong and powerful. Point out his muscles to him.
Who's going to point him out to me?
Oh, go on, Bill, please.
Okay, I'll try, Gracie.
Well, hello, George, old man. Put it there. Give me some skin, Kim.
Huh?
Slip me some hide, Jekyll. Shake, pal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shake hands.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill.
Oh!
What's the matter?
Oh! You broke me with a hand! You broke me! You broke it!
But I barely squeezed it.
Oh, you don't know your own strength, you brute. You broke me with a hand. Now they'll have to shoot me.
Shoot you?
Yes. What's the use of living if I can't pick up a cup of Maxwell House coffee? Maxwell House is the very best in coffee drinking pleasure, yet it costs but a fraction of a penny more per cup than the cheapest coffee sold. Now you broke my widow hand and I can't drink it.
Bill, even if I did hurt your right hand, that wouldn't keep you from drinking Maxwell House coffee. Haven't you any left?
George, when I drink Maxwell House coffee, I never have any left.
Oh, he made a commercial.
Yeah. Selection and blending of choice Latin American coffees plus radiant roasting give Maxwell House that famous flavor. In fact, it's so wonderful that it's bought by more people than any other brand of coffee at any price. So insist on Maxwell House, always good to the last drop.
Oh, okay. You broke your hand, yes. Bill, I hurt your hand very much.
You crushed it to a pulp, that's what you did. Now I'm through in sports. I was supposed to pitch tonight.
I didn't know you played baseball.
Who's talking about baseball? I got a date tonight. That's when I really pitch.
Goodbye, funny man.
So long, caveman.
Well, Bill, did you convince him he's the Gable type, strong and rugged?
No, Gracie. He knows he's a weakling.
He is not. George is just as manly as the next person.
Yeah, unless the next person happens to be a man.
Oh, never mind. I'll do it myself. I'll go in and make him believe that he's the most masterful, domineering, frightening man who ever lived. George?
Huh?
Oh, that voice. That vibrant, booming voice.
Huh?
Oh, what strength. What power. When you say huh, you really mean huh.
Huh?
Oh, there it goes again. Oh, I tremble when you speak. My bones turn to water, but I love it.
Look, Gracie.
Turn me to water again, George. Splash me around. Haul me down the drain.
What What is this?
Oh, it's the grip of your personality. If a harsh word should pass your lips, the whole world would turn dark.
Oh, stop.
Oops, the light's out.
You please settle down and tell me what you want.
I want to serve you, master. You're the captain of my fate.
I'm the captain?
Aye, sir.
Gracie.
What would you like for dinner?
I don't care.
You'll get it. Your word is law.
Look.
What force? What vigor? I'm putty in your hands, George. Just putty.
You are, huh?
Yes. Stick me in a crack. Shove me in a knot hole.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, George, now you're getting angry. You're going to beat me again, aren't you?
Are you nuts? I've never beaten you.
Who won at gin rummy last night?
I did.
Beat me again, George.
Oh. This is murder.
What a man you are. I'm the dirt beneath your feet.
Now, Gracie.
Dig me, Daddy. Fall me under.
Now, look.
Why, you're twice the caveman Gable is.
Gable, I knew it was Gable. We're back to that again. Now, for the last time, I'm not going to make the picture.
But Gable said you could.
Oh, stop with that.
All right, I'll prove it.
Who are you calling?
Clark Gable, that's who. I'll show you I wasn't lying.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Gable. Mr. Gable, it's me again. I want you to talk to my husband. Here, Judge.
Hello, Mr. Gable.
Yeah?
Did you tell my wife I could play the lead in the Hucksters?
Sure.
Well, gee, thanks, Mr. Gable. What can I do for you?
Call me whenever you need a taxi.
Taxi? Aren't you Clark Gable, the actor?
No, I'm Charlie Gable, the cab driver.
I see. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Gracie, Mr. Gable drives a taxi.
Realizes he's through in pictures, huh?
He never was in pictures. You got the wrong Gable. This guy is Charlie Gable.
Then Clark Gable isn't short and fat and...
No, he's tall and handsome. Well, do you still think I can take Gable's place?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Certainly. You can drive a taxi.
Join us again next week when we'll all be back. George Burns, Gracie Allen, Meredith Wilson and his orchestra, yours truly, Bill Goodwin. The George Burns and Gracie Allen show is written by Paul Henning and Keith Fowler. Until next Thursday, good night and good luck from the makers of Maxwell House, America's #1 preferred brand of coffee.
Always good to the last drop.
Gracie, I'm glad you gave up the silly idea. I could never replace Clark Gable in the Huckster.
I haven't given up. I've changed my mind. After all, there's only one difference between you and Gable. He's got a mustache.
Gracie, from the lip down, we're not exactly twins either. His neck is bigger. His shoulders are bigger. His chest is bigger.
Don't worry. When you get down to your feet, he won't be in your class.
And now stay tuned in for Noah Webster Says, which follows immediately over most of these stations. Get Birdseye. Get Birdseye green beans or wax beans. Both of them have that garden fresh goodness. Both of them come stringless and clean, ready to cook in tempting 1-inch cuts. 1 box of Birdseye green or wax beans serves 4 people. Get summer sweet Birdseye green beans or wax beans tomorrow. Remember,
It can't be the same if it ain't got that name. Get Birdseye frozen food.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.